A lot of black men, like I said, we are very ego-driven, which is a good thing. I love being a black man. I love being a black man. We are very prominent, we're very confident, but I think a lot of black men mistake your charisma as power. And when a lot of black men, maybe because of how we were raised, maybe especially if you're a black African like I am, we have a culture that kind of panders to men. I can speak as a black African, I can speak as a Nigerian. I cannot speak for the African Americans, but I hear it's the same thing over there as well, okay? I hear it's the same thing over there in America, but I know for sure it's the same thing in the Caribbean, right? So a lot of black men are growing up. We are growing up. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. As black men, we are very confident people. We are out there. We're out there. But when you show the average black man that he is not who he thinks he is, he doesn't know how to address it. He doesn't know how to react. That's the truth. He doesn't know how to react, you know? He doesn't know how to react. So that's why when you now show the average black man that you are not who you think you are, you are not who you think you are, he doesn't know how to react. So what does he do? He lashes out. He gets angry. He insults. He throws out. He's telling you reasons why. Oh, it's the West. It's the West. It's the West. But my question is, how long are we going to keep using the West as an excuse? Even in the West, you have issues within the West. But at the end of the day, it's all about building and creating. So that's why I think a lot of black, or not a lot, but enough black men have an issue with my statements. Because the truth, the fact, every single thing I am saying is fact. You can check it. You can check every single thing I'm saying. You can check whatever I'm saying. You can check it. I am not making it up. You can check it. Every single thing I am saying, you can validate it. So the average black man, when he hears and is angry about what I'm saying, is that he doesn't know how to process this. So when he sees me speaking about this thing, he has to find something. He needs to hold on to something. He needs to hold on to something. Oh, what about athletes? Oh, what about this? And he ignored the fact that I said collective. I'm not speaking from individual. Because no, if there's only one rich black guy out of 10,000, that is not a rich community. We have no power. It doesn't matter why you don't have power. Figure it out. And my message is to the black men that always love to look at the West. The West, the West, the West. Stop it. The West will always be there. Navigate it. Find a solution. I mean, as black men, we need to figure it out. We need to figure the shit out. Our children are depending on you. Our women are depending on us to figure it out. The generation unborn, the generations that have not been born yet in Nigeria, they are depending on us to figure this shit out. But imagine if we are still 10, 15 years from today, we are still telling our grandkids, oh no, you know, it's the West. It's the West, bro. Nobody is denying that the West, nobody is denying that the West does not have a hand. But bro, how long are we going to keep using this as a defining factor? It's politics. Nobody is going to let you grow for free. It is what it is. It's a power game. It's a power game. Life is all about power. Human beings are all about power. Nobody, see, let me tell you something. Whatever the white man has today, the white man earned it. You think white men walked into Africa and just took Africa like that? What? You think the white man just walked into Africa and said, hey, give me your land, and he just took the land? Come on. The white man died for this shit. Yes, they fought each other. They bled, they shed blood. They fought themselves. Well, they stole it. Again, see, this is my issue. See, this is my issue with black folk sometimes. They stole it. Whether they stole it or whether they took it or whether they earned it, does it matter? My point is they shed blood for it. Why does it matter the words? Again, you guys focus on the irrelevant shit. Who cares if they stole it? The fact of the matter is they own it. Am I lying? Stole or earned? Does it matter? They have it. Does it matter whether they stole or they earned it? Again, I'm making a broader point. You focus on the semantics. What does it matter they stole it? Okay, get it back. There you go. You steal it or you earn it. My point is the white man shed his blood for it. That's my point. Whether you say stole or earned, it doesn't matter. The point of the matter is, for generations, the white man earned it or stole it. Whatever makes you feel better. Whatever makes you feel better about yourself. My point of the matter is, he shed blood for it. He shed blood for it. So my point is this: if we think as black men that we are just going to cross our legs, we're just going to cross our legs and ask for something back. That's not how it works. So I think a lot of black men have an issue whenever I make this kind of points, because it really hits at their ego. Because one thing about us as black men, myself included, guys, I am Nigerian. I come from ego headquarters. So if you're gonna tell me about ego, I can tell you about ego. I know what ego is. I'm Nigerian. Ego is our second and middle name, especially for us Nigerian men. I am yet to. I don't think I have seen any other African country that has the ego of the average Nigerian man. So I know what ego is. Thanks for the gift. The average black man. I think maybe it's our culture. We've been raised. We have been raised to feel like we are kings. I can speak for Nigeria. I cannot speak for anybody else. But I know this applies to a lot of black African countries. If you look at how the average African boy is raised, if you look at how the average black African boy is raised, he's pampered, he's coddled. You're a man. You're the man of the house. He's a man. He's this. You are already being conditioned to think you are better than what you actually are. So when you come on the internet and you see somebody like me shining the mirror in your face, telling you that, bro, you're not who you think you are. And most of your life, especially if you're still in Nigeria, you have been told that you are a king, you're a man, you're a this, you're a this, the woman is meant to sweep, you're this. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. So what do? You can either listen to what I'm saying, or you can lash out. You can call me a simp. You can call me a panderer without really asking yourself, is this guy actually making a point? Because if you think I'm lying, for those of you that still think I'm making shit up, have you seen how the world works? That's my question. Now, I understand a lot of people in the black community clearly don't know how the world really works. This world does not run on love. My mom is a retired diplomat, so maybe that's why I know how the world works from a very early age. My mom worked for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Nigeria. She's retired now. So I grew up privileged. So I had a chance to see things that a lot of people don't, especially a lot of Nigerians don't get to see. So when you as a black man, as a black African man, see my content and I'm telling you the finger in your face, telling you, you are not who you think you are. You are at the bottom of the barrel collectively. Of course, it's going to hit your ego. And I understand it. That's why whenever I see black men that are very pissed off at me, they're just, a lot of them are coming from a place of anger. They're coming from a place of emotion. They're coming from a place of, I am so angry at this guy. I hate you. You're a simp. You're a panderer. Even despite the fact that I have literally laid out my point. I have broken down my point. You ignore all that because I'm telling you, you're not who you think you are. At the end of the day, that is the truth. And I am a black man as well. And I'm talking to myself too. Because I have put my ego to the side. And I can see the world for what it is. How can we fix ourselves? How can we fix ourselves as men, as people, when we already think that we are kings? That's my issue. How can we improve as a community when we already think we are the best? You cannot improve. Guys, before I got to this point, I had to eat so much humble pie. And because I ate humble pie, I can sit down and look at the data. I can sit back and look at the world as objectively as possible. And say, shit, I am not who I think I am. I need to tell this to my people. I need to pass this on to my people. We don't have collective power. And this matters. This apps, guys, please tap the screen for the algorithm. Tap the screen, put F1 in chat, all that stuff, please. All that stuff. Please, thank you. Thank you so much. It's for the algorithm, it helps, it does whatever it does, but it's important. So that's my take. So that's why I understand why a large number of black men get angry with me anytime I make this statement. But nobody has told me, Kingsley, you're lying. And this is why you're lying. Because my question is this. If we had power as a collective, why is it that no one takes us seriously collectively? That's where the question needs to start. And the question and the solution to this, as you can see, I provided solution. If you look at my screen, I have solutions. I was making a point before I deviated. Let me tell you guys how this world works. Let me tell you guys how this world works. This world, there is a hierarchy in this world. Did you guys hear me? Did you guys hear me? What did I say? There is a hierarchy in this world. It's not even race. It's not a race thing. It's not a race. It's not a race. It's not a race hierarchy. That's something people need to understand. There is racism, but this is not race. It's not even racism. God bless you, Ray the Fae. Ray the Fae says it is the money. Bam! It's not about race. But that's what a lot of black people seem to understand. A lot of black people need to understand. Racism exists, yes. Racism exists, yes. But in this context of what I am talking about, it is definitely not racism. It is all about, guess what? Power. Power. Period. It is a power thing. Who has the most money? Who has the most leverage? Who has the most thing? It's not always money in terms of cash. It's not always money in terms of cash. Dollar sign. It's all about, okay, who has the largest oil reserves? That's leverage, bruh. What are we doing here, man? God, I'm preaching. Guys, tap the screen, man. Let's get this to 15K likes. Because today I have time. Tomorrow I work from home. So I have time to talk. I have time to talk. Let's talk about this. You understand? So when I see black folks complaining about why CNN is not covering Africa, why should they? Who are you? I say, one thing about me, I don't expect people from other communities to treat me as priority. Why would they treat me as priority? They won't treat me as priority. I don't blame them. Priority first. We have zero power. We have zero leverage. This world runs on power. Take this from, if there's nothing you're going to take from this conversation, let it be. If there's anything you're going to take from this conversation, let it be that. We don't have power. The more power you have in this world, the more priorities people will give you. Period. This world doesn't run on liking you. This world doesn't run on loving you. No, fuck that. It's about power. Who owns the most? Okay, what makes the most powerful countries? The biggest economy, the biggest militaries, the biggest reserves, power. And we must learn how to fight. We must learn how to work the systems of power. But how can we work the systems of power when we are not even thinking in that direction? Every single time I'm trying to talk about this topic, it's always, oh, but don't forget what the West did. Let's not forget about what about colonization? Yes, I know. Who doesn't know? We know. But my question is, how long are we going to keep using that as an excuse for not building ourselves up as a collective? That's my point. I don't care about emotions. I don't care about feelings. I don't give a shit about emotions. If you watch my content, you will know one thing about me. You may not like the way I say things, but God damn it, you know I'm not lying. Every single thing I say, you can check it. We are not we are as black men. Take this however you want. We are not who we think we are as black men. That's why whenever I see somebody calling me, hey, what's up, king? Hi, king. I say, don't call me a king. I'm not a king. You're not a queen either. That's the issue. Like, see, I love black culture. I love black culture globally. I do. I love it. I do. I love black culture. But one thing that I think we need to check in black culture globally, in America, in Caribbean, in Africa, is we need to stop giving ourselves an end title. I think this plays a role in it. Like, I'm all for self-confidence. I'm all for affirmation. But I think we've done this overdrive to the point that we have people that don't even own shit, but they think they are because they just are black. If you're going to call us a king, please save that to when we are running proper black countries. Then we can call ourselves king and queen. I am not against the words kings and queens and chief and all that. Sure, I love it. But don't you think it's wise for us to be called that when we actually are running empires, that in modern day empires? That's when I think we can use that word. You cannot be a homeless man looking tattered with 6 baby mamas and you're paying $20 in child support and you're calling yourself a king. I should smack the shit out of your face. If every one of us is a king, who is being led? You're not, as a black woman, you're not a queen. Stop calling yourself a queen. You've got 10 kids from 12 men. You're chasing all those 10 men for child support for them to give you $5 each. And you're calling yourself a queen because you put makeup on your face. What kind of nonsense is that? What a disrespect. One hand is calling one guy king. And the funny thing is, the people that I see calling themselves kings and queen in the black community, they look like the people that would be doing the laborious work. And you're calling yourself a king and a queen. What are we doing here? What's up, king? No, don't call me king. Well, my name is Kingsley, so king, whatever. But don't call me that. This world does not run on love. This world does not run on I like you or you like me. That's bullshit. This world runs on one thing and one thing only. That is power. Who owns it, controls it. Period. Who owns it, controls it. Period. No matter whether you are the best athlete in the world, you are not the owner of that sports team. So to the black men that always come to me and try to shout at me and tell me, well, the best athletes in the world are black. Who cares? Have you noticed that the same celebrities that we put on the pedestal, have you noticed that a lot of these black celebrities that you guys think are powerful, have you noticed they don't talk about social issues? The so-called powerful celebrities that you think are the kings and running shit, have you noticed a lot of black celebrities don't talk about social issues that affects the black community? I'm not even talking about Mary. I don't care about Mary for now. But my point is, I'm speaking about something a bit deeper. Have you noticed a lot of these black celebrities, no matter how popular you think they are, no matter how powerful you think they are, do you notice why they don't talk about social issues? How many black celebrities have spoken about Congo? You think they don't know what's happening in Congo? Because they are simply puppets. They're not powerful. Because those celebrities know that the moment they say something that does not fit their brand, because the companies, let me tell you something, let me tell you guys how this thing works. Because these celebrities, they are sponsored by Adidas, by Nike, by Gatorade, by which other sports company. Guess who owns that fucking company? They don't speak on issues because guess what? The people that pay them those millions of dollars, the people that pays them this sponsorship are not black. They are whites, they are Jews, they are Arabs, they are everybody but black. So the moment you speak against something that coincides with the ownership of the companies that pay you, guess what happens when you toe out of line? Guess what happens when you toe out of line? Look at Kanye West. They will always remind you who you are because you are not in charge. That's why the moment anybody speaks about celebrity, I tune out, I zone out, period. Like, you've lost me. The moment anybody says, oh, what about this celebrity? I already, honestly, I just discount your thoughts. I discount your perspective. Because anybody that is familiar with how this world works, you understand that celebrities are nothing but puppets. Celebrities are nothing but walking billboards. Their job is to play something and advertise. That's their job. Celebrities are nothing but tools, exactly, Fade. That's what celebrities are. Look at them for what they are and zone out. How many Afrobeat artists, how many big Nigerian artists in Africa, how many African musicians have even spoken about Congo? Not a lot. Not a lot. If any. But guess what they're going to be doing? Guess what they're going to be doing? Those same artists are going to be fighting battles that don't even concern them. Because guess what? The people that are paying their bills, the people that are paying them sponsorship, the owners of those record labels, the owners of the people that own those companies, guess who they are? They are not black, I can tell you that much. Open your eyes. Even African countries are not in the hands of black men. So how do we, I don't know. How? Guys, please tap the screen. Let's get to 20K likes, please. Thank you. Let's get to 20K likes. I'll keep going, but let's get to 20K. I think that's something I have to start doing just to make sure everything is in order. I don't like doing it, but it's because I think people get a bit forgetful because this is for the algorithm, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's housekeeping, okay? It's just housekeeping stuff that we must do. It's something we must do to keep the algorithm happy. The algorithm is my boss. That is why I support Ibrahim Traore with all my heart. Even Ibrahim Traore, in my opinion, Ibrahim Traore's biggest enemies are other black men. It's not even the West. That's my issue. That's my fear for him. And I don't know. I'm going to make a dedicated. It's actually quite funny why I'm surprised. I'm surprised that I haven't made an acknowledged video for Ibrahim Traore. I'm actually surprised that I imagine I haven't spoken. I've not even made one video for Ibrahim Traore. Imagine, I am so disappointed in myself. I'll fix that. I'll fix that. I'll fix that. Does that make sense? So we need to acknowledge where we stand. No, we cannot talk about way forward. No. One thing I don't acknowledge. One thing I don't like about black community, especially Africans. We love to talk about way forward, way forward, way forward. How can we make the way forward when most people still think we are kings? We don't want to sit in this reality. No. Let's sit in this reality. Let us stew in this reality. What's the way forward? What's the way forward? No. Understand what the issues are to a very deep extent before I start looking at the way forward. Exactly. I literally have solutions on my page. Read. It's right there. There's a reason why I put it there. So that while I'm speaking about something else, you can read it, you can use your eyes and see for yourself. We have to understand issues. That's why I'm here. Part of the reason why I have Mr. Kingsley as my brand for TikTok is because and there's a reason why I call myself Unfiltered. It's because I haven't seen any page that really goes in depth to connect things, to connect the dots, to really tell you why we are not who we think we are. It's not even racism for the most part. It's not racism. It's not racism. Guys, it's not racism. Racism exists, but not everything is racism, guys. I swear to God. Racism exists, but not everything is racism. Racism exists, but this is not racism. This is power. It's power. Who pays for it controls it. So my question is this. How do you expect, as the black community, as a black man especially, you want to now sit in the same room as the Asian man? No. See, guys, wouldn't you feel disrespect? I swear to God. See, if I was an Asian man, if I am an Asian man, let me tell you how I feel. Let me tell you guys how I feel. Imagine being an Asian man coming from the Asian community. Your community for decades, for centuries, they've worked their ass off to build themselves up. And then some guy who hasn't done shit now wants to sit at the same table as you. Bro, won't you feel disrespected as fuck? See, sometimes I like to look at things from different angles. Let's be for real here. Let's be honest here. I would feel, I would smack, I'd be like, whoa, what's going on? No, guys, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Because you guys would also feel the same way. Let's be honest. If the roles were reversed, you would also feel the same way. Be for real. Be for real. Let's drop this act. The black community would also feel the same way if somebody that hasn't worked wants to come and sit at the same table as them. You would feel the same way. You know why I know you would feel the same way? Because you're a human being. It is human nature. It is human nature to protect what you work for. It's human nature. As a black man, you want to tell the Asian man what to do as a collective for what? Show me your credentials. That's the question. Show me your credentials. I don't care about what human right is. What's your credential? Show me your credential. What have you done with what you have? Period. That's all that matters. It's not why. What have you done with what you have? The black man hasn't done shit with what he has. The African man hasn't done shit with what he has. So how dare you want to sit in the general council and tell people what to do? Why should they listen to you? Tell me that. This is how the world sees you. This is how the world sees us. Why should I listen to that guy? Who is he to tell me what to do? Why should I listen to that guy? His country ranks in one of the poorest countries in the world. Who is he to tell me what to do? Who is that woman to tell me what to do? Her country ranks. Who is she to tell me what to do? Her country ranks in the poorest. Her country ranks one of the most corrupt. Why are you to tell me what to do? Who are you to tell me what to do? Because this is how the world works. See, one thing about me, I am a realist. I don't care about, oh my God, this is why. Maybe this is why I am who I am. I don't let nobody get in my way of becoming successful. I don't give a shit who you are. Because I did not come into this world to be to be a loser. I don't come into this world. I don't care what the systems are. Fuck it. This is the mindset most black men need to have. Because if you are looking for reasons why you cannot be successful, guess what? You're going to find it. The mind is very powerful. The mind is very, very powerful. You see what you look for. If all the time you're telling me about colonization, so let me ask you a question. I think black men, the black community overall, the black community, we are focused on the wrong people. Our issues are with our politicians. It's not with the West. That's the issue. Our issues are with our politicians, not with the West. A lot of I feel like a lot. This is I have a theory. I have a theory about the black community and why we always like to blame the West for every single thing that happens to us. It's because as black men, particularly, we are scared of authority. We are scared of authority. So it's better for us to blame an authority that is far away instead of blaming that politician that we can see. Instead of holding that politician accountable for not building roads. Because is it the West? I've always said this and I'm going to say it again. Is it the West? Is it the West that says you cannot build roads? Is it the West? That says you cannot build roads? Somebody answer me that. Is it the West that says don't build roads? Is it the West that says you cannot build roads? Is it the West that says don't pay salaries? Is it the West that says don't pay salaries? Is it the West that says keep your people poor and starving? Is it the West that says don't build hospital for your citizens? Is it the West that says do not hold your politician accountable for stealing money and you still vote him into office in 5 years? Accountability and the lack of it. Accountability and the lack of it. Accountability and the lack of it. There is no poor African country in this world. It's impossible. African countries have money. Our politicians keep us poor so that they can control us. Why aren't we focused on the politicians? There is no broke African country, I can swear on my life. Even the quote and unquote poorest African country has billions in the bank. Easy. There might be poor countries in Asia. There's no poor country in Africa, especially in black African countries. Impossible. Impossible. The issue is this. The issue is that a lot of black Africans, we don't want to take accountability that those people that we see in office, they are a perfect representation of who we are. That's why you don't want to do anything, because that politician is you. That politician is you. That politician is a representation of the majority. Oh yes. That's why you don't do anything, because that's you. Because you would most likely do the same thing if you had a chance. That's the truth. Because whether we like to believe it or not, whether we like to believe this or not, the politicians, our leadership globally is a pure representation of the people. Because that's who you are. Tinubu is in office today because most Nigerians voted for Tinubu. Period. You cannot convince me otherwise. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria because most Nigerians voted for Tinubu. Most Nigerians vote based on tribe and money. Period. There is a difference between talking and doing. Tinubu is the president of Nigeria today because Nigerians vote based on tribe. That is why there's always a northerner in office, because the North have the population and the North have the power. That is why no matter the president elect, no matter the election cycle, there is always a northerner in office, whether he's the president or the vice president. There's always a northerner, a Muslim man in office, because that's how the system is set up to benefit them. Nigerians vote based on tribe and money. Exactly, Ife. Politicians are a system, are a product of the culture. Our politicians are incredibly corrupt because the average black African is incredibly corrupt. Take it or leave it. What is corruption? What is corruption? What is corruption? Let's define what corruption is. A lot of people think corruption is when only billions of dollars are stolen. No. Corruption is when the police wants to take 20 naira from you. Corruption is when everybody wants to cheat you for nothing. Corruption is when everybody wants to take $1 here, 1 naira here. Nobody is doing, corruption, that's corruption. It's not only when there's billions of dollars stolen. Oh, that's corruption is those little things that you turn a blind eye to. That's corruption, because if you can do the small things, it will manifest in the bigger things. Something for something, exactly. Black men have no collective power. That's the hard truth. And it's a truth we have to swallow. Because how can you expect to come up in this world when you already think you are the best as black men? How can black men expect to sit at the table when you already think you are the best, when you have nothing to show for it? Listen, and when I'm talking about black men, I'm not talking about black men from the past, though, because that's one thing a lot of black men love to do. What do you mean black men don't have power? Who ran Mali? Oh God, that's thousands of years before. I'm talking 2024. I don't see black men of the past. I salute. There's a difference between black men of independence time and black men that ran empires. They're not the same. So let's stop trying. You know, the Martin Luther King, the Malcolm X, those men were different. They are very different. They are a different caliber of black man. Oh. Don't try. See, one thing about me, I give respect to that group of men. I don't try to associate myself to them because they fought. They made noise. They tried. They made effort. You understand? So if anytime I see black men of 2024 trying to talk about Martin Luther King, trying to talk about Thomas Sankara, trying to talk about Patrice Lumumba, I'm like, sir, you are not the same men. Stop trying to benefit from the work of other men. What are we doing today? What have we shown? And I'm putting myself in this category as well. Because I am a proud black man. And part of me being a proud black man is being honest with myself. I'm being honest with my community. I'm being honest. I'm being honest with my group. All we want to hear all the time is how great we are. How great we are. How awesome we are all the time. Do we do awesome things? Yes. But in general, as a collective, we ain't doing shit. We don't own anything. We don't own any industry. That is why when you talk about black women wearing natural hair, do you own the fucking industry? That's why this hair debate is a very stupid debate. It's a very stupid debate. Again, discussed by black men. Natural hair. Okay, let's see the CEO of that company. Oh, wear your natural. Why aren't you wearing your natural hair? Is she working in your company? Is it your company culture? How do you want to wear your natural hair and you go to somebody's company and the person says, I don't like your hair, change it. And you're going to tell her, no, I'm doing it. They will say, okay, well, don't work here. Guess what? Your bills ain't paid. Your bills ain't paid. Now what? Let's talk about it. Now what? Now she's sitting side by side with you. One income. When you need two income in this world, what are you going to do? You have to adapt. You have to adapt. The black woman has to survive just like we have to survive. You cannot be sitting down making demands when you don't have a kingdom. You don't get to demand for something when you don't even have the foundation. There's a reason why I don't talk about this hair stuff. I don't talk about it because I see the shit. I see just like we have to adjust our name so that we can get jobs. It's the same way the black woman has to wear wigs and whatever she has to do so that she can get a job, so that she can pay bills. Because bills need to be paid. Let's be so fucking for real. I've seen so many lives talking about why do black men wear wigs? Why is she wearing wigs? She's wearing wigs? Oh, come on, bruh. I don't like women that wear wigs. She don't wear wigs? Nah, bruh. She don't like herself. Nah, man. Come on, bruh. She don't like herself. She's wearing wigs. Homie, from top to bottom are white. It's her. It's their company. It's their company. What did I say in the beginning? What did I say in the beginning? The person that pays dictates what you do. Period. You can go to HR and go to diversity inclusion all you want, bruh. If they don't like your hair, they don't like your hair. Get out. Move on, let somebody else take it. So as black men, fair enough, you can want what you want. But if you want black women to start wearing their natural hair, sir, well, start creating companies. I'm a realist. I don't give a shit about ideal. I am a fucking realist. You want black women to start wearing natural hair? Simple solution. Start creating multi-million-dollar companies so that she can walk and wear braids, wear afro, go bald. Whatever you want, she will do it. Create the space first. End of story. Let's stop this shit. What are we doing? Less churches, more factories. How about that? That's a start, no? That's a solution. As black men, we cannot be demanding things from our women when we have not created the environment. Yesterday, I had this chihuahua talking about... I had a 90-year-old chihuahua ranting and chomping at his bits. Loud and wrong. I had a 90-year-old chihuahua with dreads. Loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. Loud and wrong. We think that the louder we talk, the more right we are. He was loud and wrong. Just because he sprinkled a couple of right things here and there doesn't mean he's correct. Loud and wrong. A 19-year-old chihuahua coming from a place of emotion. A broken clock is right at least twice. It's not a weak issue. It's not. Black women have to do what they have to do to survive. I don't even know much about hair, so forgive me if I'm talking shit. I've never been bothered. Do I prefer women with natural hair? Duh! I love natural hair. I'm a Nigerian boy. I was socialized on braids. I love different hair. I love natural hair. I love it. But I understand in the West and in Western spaces and in white spaces, you have to do what you have to do to adapt because you don't control the factors of production. You don't control the factors of production. So because you don't control the factors of production, you have to work for the people that do. And when you're working for the people that do, because they are paying you your salary, because they are paying you because they are giving you money, they dictate what they want in their company, and you have to fit in, whether you like it or not. That's realistic. So when you sit on TikTok talking about why black women don't wear natural hair, I don't know. I don't know much about hair. I don't know much about hair. There's a reason why I never even bothered to talk about it. Because come on, bro. 2 + 2 is not always 4. 2 + 2 is not always 4. Where are you living? What are you doing? When I talk about power, this is what I'm talking about. In some industries, even you can't wear dreads, and this doesn't only apply to black women. Let's talk about black men. Can you wear your hair however you want for any job? Oh, let's be for real. Let's stop this nonsense. How many black men working in multinational companies do you see walking around with dreads and locks? How many black CEOs today do you see wearing dreads and locks? You think it's only black women that have to adjust their hair? Black men have to adjust too. Because in tech, yes, but I'm talking about CEOs, executives, director level, executive level. There will always be 1 or 2, sure. But I'm talking in mass, in regularity. Because you and I know that because when you are in a system that is not controlled by you, you have to play by the rules of the people that do. That is the end of story. Because we don't control the factors of production, guess what? We have to play by other people's rules. That's what life is. I'm not here for word salad. Moving on. We are not who we think we are. We are not who we think we are. So we cannot expect to sit at the table that was built and blood was shed for other men. I'm a realist. I'm a practical man. I'm a realist. I'm a practical man. I'm a practical man. I look at things for what they are. Why? What do you own? What are you controlling? Are there black men that own things? Yes, absolutely. But it's not enough to the point where we are making demands. Let's be fucking for real. The white man controls the factors of production in the West. So guess who gets to decide what you have to wear or not? It's the white man. Because guess what? He owns it. He runs it. He controls it. It doesn't matter whether he stole it. It doesn't matter whether he bought it. Because some of you are telling me, no, he didn't earn it. He stole it. It doesn't matter. It's in his hands. It doesn't matter whether he stole or he earned it. The point is, it's in his hands. And because it's in his hands, guess what? He tells you what to do. Whether you like it or not, that's you can only you cannot complain to him directly. Complain on TikTok. This is reality. This is reality. I live in reality. I don't live in fantasy. I don't live in because yeah. I'm 29 years old. I know the history. I know colonization happened. I know slavery happened. I know that. It was shitty. We are still living with the effect of it. But guys, let's be honest though. Don't you think it's time for us to start ditching these narratives to an extent? Never forget colonization. Never forget slavery. Yes, those are terrible. Those are terrible institutions that affected the black community. Yes, we know, we agree. But goddamn, guys, come on, man. And listen, I feel sorry for black Americans. I feel like black Africans have really let down black Americans. If I'm being honest with you. I have a vendetta with black African men. I swear to God. And sometimes when I see black Americans that say they don't really want to mess with black Africans, I don't blame them sometimes. I see where they come from. Because black Americans, we have let them down. I swear. We have let the black American man down. That's why sometimes when I see the black Americans talk about they don't fuck with Africans or they don't fuck with Africa, I'm like, I see where they're coming from. Because we have let them down, bro. Because, see, for the black American man, I kind of understand why they struggle sometimes. Because, bro, the black American is dealing with everybody and they don't like them. The black American is dealing with the whites. The black American is dealing with the Asian. The black American is dealing with the Latino. The black American is dealing with the Indian. Dealing with everybody that's trying to fuck with him or fuck with her as well. So I get it. It's harder. It's harder. But as the black African man, we have not created a system where we can come to the aid of the black American if needed. Talking about jollof rice and who has the better jollof rice. I see Nigerians fighting South Africans every day. I see Nigerians talking about Chidinma. Why are we focused on the wrong shit? Who cares who wins Miss Universe? Let's be for real. Davido versus Wizkid, which one? I'm not going to vote for this guy because he's Hausa. I'm not going to vote for this guy. He's Igbo. He's Biafra. He's Oduduwa United. Look at you. Look at you. You're busy. The black African will rather fight another black African tooth and nail, make lives, fight each other, tear each other down. The black African will do everything but fight the person that is supposed to fight. The black African will do every single thing other than doing what he or she is supposed to do. The politician that is sitting right there stealing money, yet you are putting that same politician in office. You haven't rooted that politician out of office. But my God, let's go and fight Ghana over jollof rice and eggs. Oh man, that's priority, of course. South Africa versus Nigeria. Yeah, let's go and fight South Africa and Nigerians. When we have 1,001 problems in Nigeria to talk about. Put your hand anywhere, you will find 50 problems that Nigeria needs to tackle. No, let's go and focus on Nigeria. Let's go and focus on South Africa. Because that's the biggest issue right now. Let's go and fight South Africa because that's the big issue, not the plethora of wahala we have in Nigeria. All that energy should be on politics. All that energy should be focused on nation building. And it starts on social media. Let me tell you guys something. Everything starts with social media. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Don't let anybody make you feel like social media is just a yapping to. It's a lie. Social media is a tool. What you use it for is up to you. Social media is what you make out of it. Social media is what you make out of it. You can use this social media to be watching Yash. You can use this social media to be watching Prick. You can use this social media to be watching food. You can use this social media to be learning mathematics. You can use this social media to be learning French. You can use the social media to be learning self-empowerment. You can be using the social media for therapy. You can be using the social media for education, for awareness content. It's what you are using it for. If you want to learn history, you can use social media for that too. You want to learn about the real, how this world really works, it's there. Everything you're looking for is there. It's on this TikTok. It's on YouTube. There's something called social media university. Did you guys know that? You can even use social media to start a business. Everything you look for is there. What are you looking for? As black Africans especially, we must take accountability. I am so sick of black Africans always looking at everybody else to blame but ourselves. It is America's fault. It is this person's fault. It's your fault. Own it. That's where it starts. That's where it starts. It starts with us. That must be your mindset. It starts, how can you improve when you're always pointing the finger at everybody else? Too many Nigerians are focused on everything that is minute. Our focus should be, how do we as Nigerians, whether you're a Nigerian in the diaspora, whether you're a Nigerian in the continent, no matter where you are, our focus as Nigerians should be, how are we going to come together, whether on social media, to start getting our country back? That's the focus. That's the focus. Are we making content on awareness like I try to do? I don't always do good job. I'm not trying to say I'm the best. I'll be the first person to put my hand up and say, listen, sometimes I get it wrong because I'm not perfect. I'm learning too. I'm learning too. I'm learning too. I'm a learner. I'm learning too. How can we talk about black development when our women are wearing wigs? Yeah, of course. Focus on the minute things. Focus on the women, right? Because it's the women that are your biggest issue, right, bro? Yeah. Don't focus on other men and how to compete with other men. Focus on the women because, yeah, the women though, huh? Don't challenge the men that you see. Don't challenge the politician. No, but the women are wearing wigs. You understand? No, Popular, I got you, bro. I got you. How you doing, bro? Hope you're doing well, Popular. All good, all good. No, but that's my point. We have to start thinking in this direction. There needs to be more focus on our issues. There's no time to waste anymore. I am tired. Aren't you guys tired of always talking about colonization all the time? Colonization happened. It's shit. I know. We know. But we need to start thinking about, okay, what do we need to do now? Social media Social media is the tool. Guys, I have over 100 people on this live. Where do you think I would have had the opportunity to have over 100 people to sit down and listen to me right now, in person, face to face, without massive planning? This is the power of social media, guys. This is the power of social media. Do not let anybody make you think social media is a waste of time. It's a lie. Because that's one thing we love to do in the black community. They always like to say, oh, but what are you doing? What are you doing? This, it matters. It's something. It's something. It's better than zero. It's better than zero. It's something. We need to stop focusing our attention on shit that don't matter. Pop the balloon. Who cares who pops the balloon? That's where the black community needs to take accountability. Why do we always promote shit? Why do we always promote humiliation thing? Pop the balloon. Hello, my name is Jennifer. I want a guy that is like, I like a guy that has tattoo in his face a little bit. And I like a guy that can rough me up a little bit because I'm a strong guy. I'm a strong woman. Can he handle me? Can he handle me? Can he handle me? I like a man that's strong but gentle. I like a man that's tall but not too tall. I like a man that's tall and short at the same time. Does that make sense? Does it make sense? I like a man that likes Nyash and Bobby at the same time. Does that make sense? I like a man that's rich. He has to be rich but not too rich though. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And then pop, pop, pop. Yeah, you see them popping the balloon. Pop, 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 like a war zone. Me, I'm ducking, I'm hiding. Like, what's happening to Jessica? My God, Jessica. And I look back at the screen. Jessica standing there with tight clothes. Half an ear showing. She can barely breathe. But she's there to pop the balloon or find love. And guess what's going to get popular in the black spaces? That. At the end of the day, you find out that they didn't even find love. After popping the balloon and wasting my time for 10 minutes. Because it went viral and 20 women shared it with me. So I have to look at it now. So, guys, let's get the likes up to 50K, please. Let's get the likes up to 50K. Once we get to 50K, I'll bring people up, okay? I'm gonna start putting regulations on this. When we get to 60K, I'll bring people up. I want to get to 100K today, man. Like have I ever gotten to 100K likes? I don't know, but it would be nice to do that. So guys, listen, let's get to 60K and then I can bring people up. I think it's a fair trade, right? I think it's a fair trade. So while we do that, let's get to 50. Sorry, 50. No, 60. Let's do 60. So what are the solutions? Let me format your lives. What does that mean? So let's look at my solutions. My solution is this. We need to clean up the black man's image in the media. Okay? No. It doesn't have to be anything drastic. You understand? The solution is this. We have to clean up the black man's image online. Hashtag Black Blockathon. Any content that does not portray the black man in a good image, we are blocking it. All this nasty, crappy shit, block it. Okay. I got you, Rosetta. Number 2, focus on positive role models for young generation. That's my solution. We need positive role models in the black community. We need more positive role models, more positive male role models in the black community. We need unity. See, that's it. When I say, guys, I'm not trying to be an asshole here. I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi. When people say we need unity, what does that really mean? I don't think people can define unity. I don't think we need unity like that. We do need unity, but we need like-minded minds to come together and work. Just get to work. Get to work, bruh. I don't have time to wait for somebody to see what I'm talking about. I will try and push my message, but I don't have time. I will start doing my work. And while I'm doing my work, somebody will come along the way. And what we're doing, so that's how it works. Like, this is a message I give to the black community. Stop wasting time trying to educate people to join you. No. Start doing the work. Exactly. I don't believe in fake unity. No, I don't believe in that shit. Start doing the work. Like me, for example. When I made the decision that I'm going to start sharing content that focuses on the black community, I just started making content. That's it. I did not wait for people to tell me, okay, Kingsley, you can go ahead. I started making content that preaches, that challenges a lot of the things that we hide in the black community. And along the way, my tribe found me. Period. My community found me. People are going to hear what they want to hear. That's not my business. I'm not in the business of trying to correct anybody. But my point is this. So that's step number 2. Focus on positive role models for the young generation. That's very important. When you see a young black man, a young black boy, an older black man losing sight, going on the wrong path, you need to call him to order. You need to call him to order. Because we love to talk about single mother homes. We like to talk about single mothers all the time. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about what about the men that create single mother homes. That's where men need to start talking about now. Yes, there's single mothers, but what about the men that are creating single motherhood homes? It takes two to tango, doesn't it? Because we cannot be pointing the finger at the women all the time. We cannot be pointing the finger at the woman all the time. Oh, woman. What about the men? The woman didn't fuck herself. I mean, I'm sure she could fuck herself, but I don't think that whatever she was fucking could come inside her. Pause. I don't think dildos can come. I don't know, maybe there are dildos that can come now. I don't know. Technology is crazy right now. Are there dildos that can come in a woman? I don't know. But I don't think there are. Someone say product idea. I don't know. So please correct me if I'm not up to date with the latest sex toys on the market. I don't know. But I know what can come in a woman is a man. Or, ladies, if did the man say he doesn't want a child? But then if you don't want a child, why are you having sex? Or did the condom break? I don't know. I don't know, ladies. Ladies, I feel like you also need to make sure if that man wants a child or not. See, that's another thing with single mothers and single motherhood. It's very nuanced. The single motherhood topic is so nuanced. So nuanced. You know? Were you guys was it a hookup? Was it a hookup type situation and the condom broke? And the guy said, listen, I don't want to have a child. That's why I wore a condom, but the condom broke. So should the guy still stay? That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a legit point. You know? You understand? Someone said, I'm simping. Bro, just because your life revolves around women doesn't mean everything that I'm saying against men means I'm trying to get women. You know, that's not how life works, right? You know that's how life works, right? Just because I'm saying something that you disagree with doesn't mean I'm trying to get women. You know that's how the brain, not everybody's trying to fuck all the time. You know that, right? You understand? Homie said simp. Homie, have you seen my face? Take a look. I invite you to take a look at my page and tell me if I'm the kind of guy that needs to simp for women. You see, a lot of men tell on themselves. Because your life revolves around women and how to get women, you automatically think that just because I disagree with you, I must be trying to get women. You see, you tell on yourself without even realizing. What have I said that's simping? Tell me. Tell me exactly. Tell me word for word what I have said that's simping. Tell me. You understand? So that's point number 2. Point number 3 for the solution is we need to create proper businesses and focus on ownership. Create proper businesses and focus on ownership. That's point number 3. Create proper businesses and focus on ownership. That is the answer. Ownership and businesses. Because when you own something, your voice is needed. Create proper businesses. What does proper business mean? Proper businesses mean that you are actually, you have the legal rights of it. You have an establishment. It doesn't matter whether it's a digital business. It doesn't matter whether it's a physical business. It has to be proper. Is it registered? It has to be ownership, because that's how you build wealth. Ownership. It could be stocks. It could be shares. It could be shares in companies. You know what I mean? Ownership. Is it in your name? Are you owning? Do you own the land? Do you own the company? Are you in the room when decisions are being made? That's the gap we have in the black community globally. We don't have ownership and business. And that's why I always say to black men and to the black community, especially black men, you have to start thinking like a business. Learn from other communities. Learn from other communities. Learn from the Jews. The Jews have perfected the system. They focus on ownership. You see, one thing you can learn from the Jews is this. Because the Jews were discriminated against, that is how they became a powerful group. Because nobody wanted to lend money to the Jews. Guess what the Jews did? They built their own banks. So you see how we can also turn adversity to success? No. Do you see? This I'm summarizing it. the Jews, the reason why the Jews are powerful and dominate finance is because nobody wanted to lend money to the Jews. Guess what the Jews did? They created their own bank. They created their own systems. They created their own businesses because nobody wanted to do business with them. So they started creating their own shit. And guess what? They are a very small group, but they control the whole world. Now, my question to the black community, especially black men, if you think you're a victim all the time, how the fuck can you become successful collectively? That is why when I speak, I don't talk about the victim shit because I don't have time for that. Life is too short. I don't have time to be a victim, bro. I don't care. It doesn't mean I don't acknowledge all the other things. I do, but I don't have time for that, bro. We are making this thing work, period. I am here to make this thing work, and that's on that. That's on that. Ownership. That's point number 3. Point number 4. Spread awareness and critical thinking. This is how we can build power. Awareness and critical thinking. Awareness and critical thinking. Awareness and critical thinking. There is a severe lack of critical thinking in the black community. There is a severe lack of critical thinking and critical thinkers in the black community. That is why sometimes when they see someone like me who's challenging a lot of the things you hold dear to your heart, and I'm telling you why you are not who you think you are, instead of you to listen to me, you lash out. You lash out. You call me all sort of names. You don't even address the point I was raising. You call me everything but wrong. You call me everything in the books, but you never call me wrong though. You call me everything in the book, but you never call me, this guy is wrong, and this is why you're wrong. And when you tell me I'm wrong, you bring a better point that is factual and critical. You never do that. You just throw things, oh, you're wrong, you're this, you're this, like a child. Awareness. Mental health awareness. Emotional stability awareness. Healthy. Us black men, we need to chill a little bit. We need to understand how to regulate our emotions. Not everybody is trying to challenge you to a fight. You don't have to threaten me with violence because I say something you disagree with. There's a reason why I say we need to put our ego in check. We all have egos. Ego is healthy. A healthy sense of ego is good. But when your decisions and your reactions and your responses are all ego-based, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. When you make a lot of decisions that are ego-based, you make a lot of mistakes. You scream, you jump, you lash out. And nobody even understands what you're saying because all you did was rant. That's point number 4. Point number 5. Get involved in politics and political discussion. This is more to the Nigerians. Nigerians are not involved enough in political discussion as much as they should be, in my opinion. We have the numbers, guys. The average age in Nigeria is 17 or 17. Very young, incredibly young. We need to take accountability. We need to take ownership of our country. We need to start talking politics. We need to start questioning politicians. We need to stop tolerating bad treatment from our politicians. We need to start challenging terrible treatment. The reason why Nigeria is incredibly corrupt right now is because politicians don't get challenged. Politicians can do what they do because the average Nigerian youth is complacent. That's the truth. They're complacent. We don't challenge them. We put them back in office. We don't challenge them. I mean, there was a Nigerian politician, his name is Rotimi Amechi. He literally said to Nigerians, he was selling a book, he said, you know this politician is corrupt, yet you put him or her back in office. So what are you complaining about? And we know that. And the politicians know that. They know that all we vote on is based on tribe and money. If I can give you, and religion too. Exactly, no, angel, religion too. Religion too, especially in the north, especially with Muslims. Religion, in Nigeria, politics and religion, especially as a northerner, goes hand in hand. If you're a Muslim and you're a politician, you're going to be successful. Because by default. Guys, let's get to 60K. Let's get to 60K so I can bring people up, okay? Please. So those are my solutions. And the beautiful thing with my solutions is that it's something we can all start today. I give practical solutions. I don't give people vague solutions. Like, oh, let's just unite. What does that even mean? Let's just unite. How can I unite with somebody that doesn't even that's not looking for practical solutions? Okay, when you say something like, oh, but let's just unite. What exactly are you telling me? To unite, I can only unite with people that are going in the direction I'm going. All my solutions are practical. Clean up the black man image in the media. Hashtag Black Blockathon. What does that mean? That means as an individual, as a black man, anytime you see toxic content that preaches destruction in the black community, that denigrates and insults black men or insults black women, block them, block them. That is something you can control. That's something you can control. Stop engaging in toxic content. Pop the balloon. No, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Some pop, very few though. No, there's actually one lady. One lady, her name is Arlette. Arlette something. I don't remember her last name. I like the way she does her pop the balloon. It's actually very nice. I enjoy her style. They are well dressed. The men are well dressed. The women are well dressed. They talk to themselves respectfully. There's no sexualization. Arlette, I like her own. Her own I like. People like her own. So people like Arlette, it's good. It's good. It's mature. It's good. It's good. But the rest, man, holy smokes. I literally saw a pop the balloon. The first was it pop the balloon or 20v1? The first questions they asked the woman is, how well can she suck dick? Can you suck dick? And the woman is like, nah, I can't. It depends though. It depends when I suck it. You know, I'm like, on YouTube? Exactly popular. That one had 800,000 views or something. It was crazy. Arlette, I like Arlette. So Arlette's Pop the Balloon is pretty good. I recommend. I like her. I actually watched some of her content. It's really nice. It's very mature. There's no disrespect allowed. It's good. So clean up the black man's image, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't listen to rap music. Not anymore, anyway. Every once in a while I'll listen, but it's not my go-to music. I don't listen to rap music. Why don't I listen to rap music? Especially modern day rap. Because rap music is very destructive. I'm sorry. Even some of the rap music that's coming out of Nigeria right now, I don't listen to it. I refuse to listen to music that preaches destruction of my people, of my community. What are we doing? How can I be listening to songs that calls black women bitches and whores and sluts? How can I be listening to music that preaches violence between two black men? I can't be doing that shit, bro. Come on. Music is powerful. Art is powerful. It gets into your subconscious. It goes into your subconscious. So what you are listening to, exactly subliminal, bro. You're programming your subconscious. There's a reason why when you're working out, you listen to a certain type of music because it gives you more energy. When you want to calm down, you listen to a certain type of music. I know in some rap music, you're going to use bad words, but what's the overall message of that song? I listen to some rap music, don't get me wrong. It's just, what's the overall message of that song? If the overall message of that song is violence and disrespect and come on, I don't have time for that. I block you. I don't listen to you. I'm not going to give you my attention. Why should I listen to songs that's preaching drug use in the black community? Because let's be honest, though rap music is globally accepted, it started with the black community, especially black Americans. And if there's any black American, I just want to say to the black Americans, I salute you guys, man. And the reason I love black American culture so much is that black American culture, I grew up on black American culture. I grew up on black American culture from the early 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. Woo! No, black American culture raised me. So when I see black American culture today, it's like, God damn, bro. Bro, I still watch Meet the Jeffersons. I still watch Meet the Jeffersons. I still watch 227. I still watch The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I still watch so many. I Meet the PJs. I still listen to old school music. Boys to Men. I mean, I was even watching this. I was listening to this music from Seal. He did a remix of James Brown. It is a man's world, and I'm sure this music still exists. It's just not as prominent like it was before. Now, if you're not calling a woman a bitch and a whore, and if you're not calling her, how much of her friends you're banging, how much tattoos you have on your ass cheeks. If the woman is not telling you how awesome her pussy is, if she's not telling you that her pussy cures cancer, she's not making it big. So now it's all about yash, pussy, and what they do. Yeah, I sell drug to kids, bruh. I'm good now. Woo! I'm the bitch. See, you now have women calling themselves bitch. Proudly. You have women now talking about I'm that bitch. Proudly. You have women now telling another woman, I am his favorite bitch. Women using their own mouth to say, I am a man's favorite bitch. Ha! Okay. I'm his favorite bitch. I'm a this. I'm like, what? So don't get angry when the man calls you a bitch, because clearly you love being called a bitch. I mean, you cannot be called, or when the men call themselves nigger. I'm that nigger. I'm the nigger from the block. I'm the this. I'm the that. So when other people call you nigger too, what do you want them to say? You cannot choose certain things. You don't call yourself that because you're not trying to stress yourself, man. You understand? What you don't want people to call you, don't call yourself that. That's just my take. You have a name. What happened to homie? You know. What's up, brother? How are you? You know, what's up, bro? You good? Homie? There's a lot more words you could use. You're putting nigger in songs. The song is reaching other communities. Now those communities think they can call you a nigger when they see you. You understand? Let's be honest too now. Let's be honest too, guys. Let's be for real. We cannot be doing something on one hand and complaining about the consequences on the other hand. Like sometimes when I'm talking about the black community, I'm like, guys, come on, let's not be this dumb now. You understand? Music is very powerful. Music is very powerful. You cannot be putting nigger, bitch, nigger in your music. The music reaches 20 million views on YouTube. You think it's only black people that are watching that music? Now, some white guy who has probably never even engaged with black people now thinks he can call somebody a nigger. Oh no, bro, I heard the music, man. Or however they talk, man, I don't know. Sorry, I'm bad with accents. Oh no, bro, I love Kendrick Lamar. No, bro, my nigger, yeah, my nigger. No, bro, I meant it like a good way. Man, shut up. I'll smack you anyway. You my favorite nigger. I like you, bro. My favorite nigger. Then I'll smack you. And then we get angry. Guys, stop. Let's get to 60K so that I can talk to some people because I need to sleep, man. 60K, guys. Come on. I don't like doing this, but I have to do it because it's I have to set some principles and stuff. My God, I've yapped a lot today, huh? My goodness. I have yapped today. See guys, I'm even joining you guys with the tapathon. See guys, teamwork. You see, I am a good leader. I joined from the front. You see guys, this is why you should vote for me. Vote for me not because I talk a lot, but because I'm also tapping the screen. I'm leading from the front. Isn't this a great leader? Come on, man, shit. So because I'm not Igbo, you guys will not vote for me? You see, your prejudice is showing. Because I'm not Hausa, because I'm not Muslim, you don't vote for me? Typical black community. Oh man, where am I? Where are we now? Fuck, 56K. God damn. They didn't vote for Peter Obi. They didn't vote for that man, I beg. They didn't vote for him. I've told you, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Nigerians vote based on tribe, religion, and money. That is why there is always a Hausa Muslim in office. Period. I'm not even Igbo. I'm Ibibio. I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Forget me even trying to become president of Nigeria. Forget it. I'm not Yoruba. I'm not Hausa. So forget it. You understand? I'm not Hausa. I'm not Yoruba. Forget it. That is why the Hausas, they love Nigeria the way it is. It benefits them. Yeah, tribalism. Tribalism is definitely tribalism. Because Nigeria is a country where meritocracy does not work. Meritocracy does not work. It's all about, even if this person is a terrible candidate, even if this person is horrible, but because you come from this part of the country, that's all you need. And tribalism got so deep into Nigeria that even education is based on tribalism as well. Yeah. I remember when I wanted to go into university, I did my JAM, I passed my JAM. I wanted to go to University of Abuja, and I had 237 in my JAM result. You needed like, I think 180 or something. I didn't get into University of Abuja. But if you see the people that got admitted into University of Abuja for law, they were Hausas, 160, below 180, 200, 150, 100 and 181, 190, 200, 205, some 250s here and there. They got admitted into University of Abuja. Me, who got 230 something, I got nothing. I had to wait 2 years before I could get admitted into university. And I finally went to University of Uyo. So, we are now at 60K. Okay, guys, next, let's get to Let's get to 80K. Let's get to 80K. I am a Nigerian politician. I scammed you all. I scammed you all. No, I'm kidding. Wouldn't it be so funny? My days. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's going on?
Life's good. What do you have to say to me, sir? We're gonna keep it quick so that there's a long list, okay? Just tell me what's up, bro. How you doing?
I'm all right. So I got a question. Your solutions. Aren't we doing that already?
Well,
Except
I don't think
except for the first part where you say we gotta, like, I get it. We don't control the media. So how do you suggest we control the media?
Well, so there's two questions there. Which one should I address first?
Both.
Okay, so we are doing it already, but I think we need to put more attention on that, on social media especially, because I want to correct something. I am not saying we're not doing it, but I don't think the critical mass is, especially on social media. I feel like, again, this is my opinion. I'm not saying it's the law. My perception is the focus is being misplaced on things that are not as relevant as these points on my solutions. Within the Black community, especially within the Black African community, I've noticed we tend to give more shine, we tend to give more attention to things that are not productive, that moves the community forward. That's my perception. Now, let me clarify something even more. Now, the first solution, clean up the Black man's image online. I don't think we're doing that, because if you see the content that thrives the most within the Black space, is shitty content. It's content that portrays us as gangsters. And it's popular because we like it. We engage with it. That's why it's popular. If it's not popular, shit, I don't like the way I'm flickering. I'm still here. I'm just not in camera. If we did not engage with it, it would not be as popular. That's where it starts. We need to clean up our image. Any image that is portraying us as low lives, we need to run away from that. So number two, positive role models. I don't think we're doing that enough. Again, I'm focused on online. Now, are there Black men that are doing this? Yes, absolutely. But I think online, we need to be fostering more conversations along positive role models. How can we have the positive representatives of the Black man have more visibility? I am sick and tired of some guy who can barely speak English, but all he knows is to put words together and rap and drink lean. Some artist, some musician to be my representative. No, I reject that. There are positive Black men out there that are making content, that are doctors, engineers. We need to push them forward. How are we going to do that? I don't know. For example, what I do to this is that anytime I see like a Black man or a Black community of men doing something positive, I try to repost, I try to share, I try to put that out there, because that's what is going to represent me. I want that to be my representative. And this goes back into mainstream media as well. You will have to agree with me that we within the Black community love to promote the trash of our communities. I mean, a lot of people, if you look at the content, that is promoted to represent the Black community, it's always something that has to do with gangsterism, some type of struggle, either it's trying to get, I don't know, struggle. That's not the Black story. We're not struggling people. Why is that?
Do you know why that is?
I think I have an idea, but tell me.
So the idea is, just so you know, I'm on your side, okay? But
it's not about being on my side. It's just making
I'm just trying to have a conversation. What I mean by on your side is, I agree that we need more positive role models in our society. But what I'm trying to tell you is, there's a reason why this narrative is the way it is, because when you sign on to music labels, for example, the black people don't control, like Universal Music Group, for example. Like, we're not at the helm of that shit, right? So before you are able to get into to sign contracts with these people, they have a narrative to spin, okay? Even when they want you to put out certain content, because, like, I don't know where you are, but like I'm guessing you're in the States or something. But like where I am, right? Like, they want you to put out certain content because they want to create that image. They're going after something. And so they find people that will help spread that content or the image that they try to portray. There's a reason why the media will go to a place like Africa and they pick just certain areas to show on TV, because they have a narrative they're trying. It's almost the same thing when it comes to the music industry, right? The white man controls that space, right? And it's easier for them to pit the black community against each other versus bringing them together. You understand? Because the whole divide and conquer rule. So it's better for them to create a community where black people fight amongst each other. Because again, all they got to do is show it on TV and say, hey, look, black on black crime. The black people are doing it by themselves type shit, right? So it's easier for them to keep doing it and keeping us divided because then it brings more bank. So what I'm saying is this. I'm glad that a lot of black people are waking up and being educated on things like this, because these are things that were all, for lack of a better term, hidden from the education is key. But you got a lot of black people not going to school and they just want to keep doing the gang banging and all of that. And I'm with you, like, yes, we have to educate the populace. We have to make sure that they understand that, look, these are all, and then you don't forget, we're dealing with a lot of single, not only that, we have a justice system that incarcerates a lot of black men, and that's on purpose. They want to keep the black people divided. They want to keep them from having like a two-parent family, raised in a two-parent family home. All these things are strategic. These are not just things that happen in a vacuum. You understand? They would send a black man to prison for 20 years for possessing marijuana, but a white man would get 6 months probation. These things are on purpose. So we need to get that power back. But how we get that power back is actually through education, helping people understand that, yes, you can be role models all you want. I'm not saying that's irrelevant. But if we don't get into these spaces where we actually have the power to change things, it's going to be a really hard road to climb.
No, I got that. No, that's true. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yes,
And
it's really all by design. You understand? Look at what's happening in the Congo, right? The people that go in there and then they're digging up all this gold and everything. They're Israelis, right? The dude has been in Congo since 1997. They will come steal our gold and our whatever, and then bring it back to the West, and then make those same things rare. If you go to the British Museum, it's called the British Museum, but what you see there's mostly African shit. You understand? But it's the British Museum. It's all stolen goods from Africa. And then we go there and we pay for that shit. The same thing with religion. You go to Rome. You're going to Rome to go see a pope. Why? The popes have always been white. All of these things are by design. Jesus Christ is white. Why? You know, they say all these things that keep our African brothers and sisters suppressed in their critical thinking. They don't ask questions. They're stealing from them. They'll tell you God is the best or whatever. I know I'm going all over the place, but I'm just saying that all of these things, they're structurally designed. And what they do is, in America, white is always better than black. No matter your qualifications, you can see it in the elections. We were dealing with a criminal. We had a woman, the black woman was more qualified than ever, worked in all three branches of government, but she still had to do 10 times the work and she still didn't get the job. Remember, this dude ran against Hillary Clinton back in 2016 or 2015, and he won. He ran against Joe Biden, a white man, in 2020, and he lost. But he ran against a woman in 2024 and he won. So whenever it comes against a woman and then talk less of a black woman, bro, we're dealing with a system that is structurally designed to function the way it is actually working the way it's intended. But I am so happy that we got a lot of black folks out here that are trying to put out this positive image about black people, because again, we don't have to prove anything to the white man. I don't know why we feel they need to prove anything to the white man, but that's what it is at this point, because our image has been so tarnished to the point where, you know what, the only way to fight it back is by educating our younger ones, and also trying to find spaces where we can actually, I guess, for the lack of a better term, fire people from these positions of power. If you look at the companies, how companies are structured, you see HR is mostly made up by white people, and they have a narrative to spin. So a black man can bring a complaint about the company. Yes, they're there to be the company bitch, but when they come bring their complaints to the company, if the racist people if the people are white, they have the power. The managers are mostly white. So they're putting white people in strategic positions where it makes it harder for the black man to climb. So that's really what I have to say on this topic. And that's what I mean. I really agree with what you're saying, but you have to understand that it comes with the way the system is set up. I'm not making excuses. It's just what it is. But I hope that we do get to that point where, because the white man is only 7% of the population in the world. They don't really have all the power. The only thing is they have the weapons, or they have access to the weapons. You understand? That's why they're able to keep people subjugated and subdued. You understand? But that's really what I wanted to say about this.
Oh, thank you so much. You made some fantastic points. About the last point you made, that's why, if you notice, if you look at how white people move, they're always very discriminatory because they have to be. Like you said, if you notice, anytime white people go to any area, what do they always like to do? Kick everybody out and protect everything for themselves because they know that they don't have the numbers. So they have to create systems that favors them by default. Us, I think, as black folks, for example, we are so used because there's a lot of us. There's a lot of us. Like in Africa, I know there's like 1 billion or something thereabouts, and we got numbers. So we don't always think about that. Maybe that's why we don't think about self-preservation so much. Maybe that's why whites are always very, preservation, because they know they don't have the numbers. For example, part of the reason, again, I don't know much about America, but part of the reason why Trump won, according to the feedback I got, was because the white population in America is slowly declining, something like that. I think right now, I'm not in America, by the way, so that's why I sound ignorant about the place. But I hear currently the white population is like 60% of the population, and I think by 2050 it's gonna be what? It's gonna be less. It's dropping, and the Latinos and the blacks are rising. So that's why Trump won, and deportation, you close the borders, is becoming a thing because, from what I gather, and same thing in Europe too. Because they're not used to being being the second. They want to be the first, and they want to keep that position because they know how they treated other minorities, so they don't want to be in that position. That's what I hear anyway. So maybe I'm talking shit. But anyway, Dazzle, you have a final point so that I can bring somebody else on.
Yeah. No, to your point, you have to understand that we know who the quote unquote the enemy is already, right? But the thing is, what is most surprising is the fact that the white women actually uphold this same, but the thing that what you have to understand is a lot of black folks they get caught up in this rhetoric where they're conditioned to think that they have to look for. I mean, it's good to look for qualifications in somebody to vote for them, right? But the white man is not playing by the same rules. They think they can level up, but they can't. You're still below. You're still looked at as second class. You understand? So when the white man is telling you, oh, you think she's qualified to be president, she's not qualified. These are the same people that have voted for unqualified people for years. And then when it's time for a black person to actually be in power, they tell you, oh, check their qualifications. Why? You know you're doing the right thing when the white man is angry at you as a black person that you're doing it. That's how you should. That's your clue right there. If you find majority of the white people saying that don't do certain things, know you're doing the right thing as a black person. That is how you should think. When they said Kamala was putting people in prison, black men in prison and all this other crap, and then you turn around and ask yourself, I asked them, do you think majority of the black population knows what's good for them? And they say yes. So if we'll say Kamala is our candidate, she is our candidate because we know what's good for us. But these are the same people who say, oh, she's locking up black people. Where were they when she was doing it? They didn't say anything. But because now it's going to help them politically, all of a sudden they claim to care. So people have to understand that education is literally the way to go, and access to weapons. When we have those two things, they will not be able to subdue you. That's why guns is very important. Sorry, pew-pews. Pew-pews are very important. You have to, I mean, in this day and time, it might be useless, but anyways, but I appreciate you having me on your live, man.
Pleasure, man. Dazzle, have a nice one, okay? Bye, Dazzle. So who's next? I'm just gonna go off the top, man. So M1 is next. I'll just go off the top, guys. I don't want to think too much. I'm tired.
Kingsley,
M1.
what are you telling me, bro?
Oh, we're just yapping, man.
Trust me, bro. Yeah, I've been making them a lot of sense today, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you, especially about black men. It's because anytime you look on social media, especially these Pan-African pages, it's what like all they talk about is how they are being discriminated against. All they talk about is how black people are literally victims. They never talk about how we can literally improve. All they talk about is that, look how the Indians are literally treating us in South Africa. Look how the whites are literally treating us in South Africa. Why did you put yourself in that position in the first place that these foreigners are able to mistreat you in your own land? The white people may not like them Arab people, but the Arab people are literally relevant economically. It is because they literally own London now. London is literally owned by the Qataris.
Yeah, I know. And immediately here they own London.
Yeah.
And the Asians.
Like, who do you think owns like Sainsbury's? Like, who do you think owns like Westminster and Central London? Those are the two like most luxurious places. I mean, London, they are owned by the Qatari people. Yep. The white man doesn't like them, but they cannot disrespect them to.
Yeah. Because the money. Yeah, he pays your salary.
Like, I am going to say this, yeah. All black people care about is material things, and like they don't care about trying to develop like as a whole. All we care about is sex, all the material things of this world. That's all we care about. It is like Trump doesn't like Hispanic people, but now he has to kiss their ass. Despite the fact that he doesn't like them. It is because of Mexico now is literally one of the US's top trading partners. Like the current female president of Mexico just told Trump that she isn't going to close the borders, and there was nothing that he could literally say back to her. That is how you create leverage.
Yeah.
We like we don't have that. I always see some black people saying that, look at Gaddafi. I was like, listen up. Libyans don't like black Africans. Have you seen how they literally treat us in their countries? Like shit.
I've never understood the black Africans' glorification of Gaddafi. I don't even know where that comes from.
It is because one thing I keep trying to tell them is that this African coin won't have benefited the black Africans. It should have only benefited the Arab Africans. It should have only benefited them. I don't understand why they are so obsessed with
Gaddafi. I don't understand why, where it comes from.
Thank you. Obama killed Gaddafi. We should we should hate him. I don't give a shit that Obama literally took out some Arab man. I'm sorry to literally say it is because the Arab man is going to do the same thing to the black African man without him even blinking twice. Yep. Why is it that we have so much empathy for other races when they don't have the same empathy for us?
Yeah. And I'll say this. So I think, Emma, to your point, a lot of black Africans, we forget that people have their own self-interest first.
Thank you.
I would never trust a non-black African to have my best interest at heart. I just never would. I would rather have a black African who I know is corrupt. Mm-hmm. At least we have some level of connection there.
Thank you.
And you want to now give your future to the hand of a guy who doesn't have any connection to you whatsoever. Come on.
Also,
never.
Yes. Also,
because they would never put their own in my hands.
Thank
so why
you.
should I put
The thing I find funny is that it took black American people to literally discover that Latinos were always going to put their interests first, that Latinos don't like them the way white people doesn't like us. Then after the election, I saw them raging them against Latino people. Anti-blackness is practiced in Central and Latin America. There is a reason why there is a huge black underclass. Hell, Argentina. Do you know that in Argentina, they genocided their all black population? Do you actually know black people used to have a huge population in Argentina? They genocided all of them. And then these people come to the USA and then you're trying to do black and brown people. There is no such thing as black and brown at all because of all these brown races don't like us. All these whether be the South Asians, whether be the Arabs, whether be the Latino people, they don't like us. All they talk about is how the West is victimizing us. Yes, they are victimizing us, but China and India want to take over Africa are not in the West, they are in the East. Why don't you focus on China and India more? Because they are the bigger problem now. Yeah. They are by far the bigger, majority of the countries in East Africa, the people who control the businesses there are literally all Indians.
I saw it.
In Tanzania, the richest man there is India, and the list goes on.
Yeah, I know that. It's funny. If you look at the richest Southern African people, it's a whites. It's white as fuck.
What?
It's white as fuck. The richest East Africans are Indians.
Why are we nice to these people? Wait, no.
M1, please. I get what you're saying.
Sorry.
But please understand it. You got to watch what you say, please. It's still TikTok as an algorithm.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm not trying to preach you. It's my. You got to understand, M1. Yeah. You have no picture. You have no picture on your stuff.
True.
Your name is M1. Nobody knows your name.
Yeah, true.
My name is Mr. Kingsley. It's my face.
Okay.
So please. have some respect for that. Okay, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Just please use the TikTok words, please. Okay.
Yes. Why do we accommodate these people in a very nice way in our countries, but when we go to their countries, they don't accommodate us at all? And who is responsible for all this? It is the black man. It is because they haven't showed these people that we are going to push back against them. We have never pushed back against the Arab man, the Latino man, and the white man. Hence why we have been conquered every single time. As the white man is leaving Africa, we got the Indians and the Chinese about to take over Africa. One thing about Africans too is they don't want to live them in reality at all. Yes, Trump is racist, but when Trump called African countries shitholes, he wasn't lying. That is just the harsh truth. He wasn't lying. African countries are the most dysfunctional countries. We can't even build a bridge. We can't even build hotels. We can't even manufacture toothpick. And we want to be taken seriously. We want to be taken seriously. Our healthcare system is a sham.
You landed, bro?
Yes, it is.
You landed?
Yeah. It is literally like what I'm just going to say. We have to. Like we have to rebuild.
True.
We have to rebuild. It is because we have to stop lying to ourselves. There is nothing positive about Africa at the moment. I'm sorry to literally say.
Agreed. That's the.
Yeah, sorry.
You got a land, bro. Because I can bring someone else.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Thank
The black people who always praise Africa as being great, they are the ones who are living in the West, and they probably wouldn't have even live in Africa.
Yep, true.
But
true.
They will be like, oh, Nigeria, look at the culture, look at the air in Nigeria. Oh, the weather is beautiful. Okay, go and live in that country. You wouldn't. They praise the dysfunction in the country, but they wouldn't live in the dysfunction. Yes.
No, you're right.
Thank you very, very much.
Pleasure, bro. No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, bro?
Yeah, I'm going to say this. By the grace of, in the future, we Nigerians need to do what the Pakistanis, the Indians, and the Qataris are literally doing, and the Latinos. We have to start taking over places in the West economically. That's how we're going to do it. We have to
It is happening though.
Yes.
In UK and America. No. See, I'm gonna give credits to Nigerians. See, listen. If there's any black African country or black African group that I can say, yeah, they dominate where they go, it's Nigerians.
Yes, thank you.
Say whatever you want to say about it. Like I know in the UK, there are certain parts of the UK that are like, oh, that's a Nigerian place. Like Peckham or something. Is it Peckham they call it?
Peckham, yes, it is called.
Nigerian shops, bro. Even in France.
Versus Brixton.
Yeah, and so we do.
Yeah. Also, the owner of Gatwick Airport, arguably one of the biggest airports in the UK, is owned by Nigerians. So I am going to say this. I predicted that in the next 50 years, Nigerians are going to be a big player in literally having economical power in the West.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, thank you, Kingsley.
Appreciate you, brother. Okay.
It was a pleasure joining.
Always a pleasure to have you, okay? Rest well, okay? Sleep well, bro. Ciao. Bye-bye. Much love. Holy fuck, guys. I've got like... Hello? You're on mute.
Hello?
Yeah, could you speak up, please? I can't hear you.
No, I just come upstairs. Hello, how are you doing? Right?
You're well.
Yes, I saw this topic and I'm not African myself. I'm Asian. Yeah, I'm half Guyanese, half Bengali, but I'm Asian. My thoughts are there is a lot of power, but it's just, I mean, for example, Nigeria, right? Nigeria has resources.
But if I may, just respectfully,
yeah.
I mean, I brought you up because I'm curious as to know, why would you want to contribute?
Contribute? No, because I want this to happen. I follow, Africa, what's going on there. I want freedom. I want power. I want independence. I want Africa to be rich. And I don't understand, I follow, what's happening in Burkina Faso. I follow, the situation there. And it's stressing for me. Colonialism is still there. And it's bad, but I just see the potential. I see, so much hope. But
Okay. Got you. But bro,
yeah,
I brought you up because I wanted to give you a chance.
yeah.
But I'm respectfully, bro, with all due respect, I appreciate you, but I have to drop you, okay? The reason for that is because I wanted to give you a chance to just hear you out. You understand? But this is for black men, bro. Respectfully.
I just that's
No,
another reason why.
I appreciate.
It's not just
I
it's not just
appreciate your.
black people that want it.
No.
I
The reason I wanted to give you a chance, to be fair, to hear you out, but I've heard you out, but I think no other community wants the best for black Africans other than a black African.
Yeah, but that's what you think. I mean, I do.
No, that's what I know. That's what I know.
Yeah. But can
That's
I
what I
just
know.
give you my
Because
thoughts? Nigeria.
no, bro. It's okay. Have a nice one, bro.
Yo,
LeBeau,
my bro.
what's up, bro? Welcome.
Yo, you were on with today, bro. I won't lie, man.
No. I mean, no. I gave him a chance. It's like, okay.
Nah. I agree with what you did, bro.
If he was no, it's not trying to be disrespectful. It's just I thought he was, I thought he had some. Because if he said, for example, I am half this and half African, I'll be like, okay, whatever. You're half Guyanese, you're South Black Caribbean,
Yeah, no, I think we need to definitely normalize people that aren't African or black, per se. Like, we need to normalize that they can't speak on these certain topics because we don't go into their spaces and speak on Guyanese man or Indian man or whatever. We don't speak on that. So why do we let a bunch of other people speak on our own topics? Like,
I kind of take responsibility for bringing him up in the first, but I don't know. I felt like it's because again, maybe that was a lapse in judgment, but I thought it was mixed or something, but it's not. But anyway, go on, Lebo, make a point.
yeah, look. I feel like you made a lot of points. I just wanted to come up and say, look, bro, you were really on one today. You really hit the nail on the hammer, very passionate, bro,
Yeah.
But look, first of all, I'll just make that first point. Like, I definitely like what you do when you call out black men that are competing with black women. You're talking about hair, how they're dressing, like all these sort of black men, like they're the bottom of the barrel, and we need to call them out, We need to stop allowing these type of people to dominate social media and just be dogging on black women and making the focus that, as you said, we need to start. If you're going to tell black women to wear natural hair, I really love what you said, Let's start creating these industries where black women can start buying weaves off black people themselves, Let's actually start thinking like a business and actually start doing things that can progress our people. Like, that's the only solution, because people are going to do what they want. Some women like to wear weaves, some women don't. As black men, we know that, Why are we sitting on lives and letting white women, Indian women kind of see this shit, witness it and have an opinion on it? Like, we shouldn't let these people have an opinion on what black women decide to do with their hair. It should not be a topic of discussion at all, and that's all I'll say on that. But I think another thing that you said, Kingsley, that really poked my mind that I wanted to kind of speak on was how weak-minded a lot of black people are, Like, just like you said, how long are we going to let colonization take over the narrative? And what I really wanted to kind of land on was, like, even I work in finance, right? I work within pensions. I'm a financial advisor. It's like I work within finance, right? And we had a Black History Month. First of all, it's an American holiday, so it has nothing really to do with Africans. Majority of the black people that work in my company are like African people, Nigerians, Congolese, a few South Africans, right? So we had a Black History Month. And what I really wanted to say about this is, like, we had a conversation about diversity and black people, right? And these people were basically clapping for us because we were black and we worked in this company and we somehow got a job in this place and worked our way there. And it kind of dawned on me. I was like, how did black men allow this to happen? That we're sitting in a room where white people are clapping for us just for getting a job and working. Like, yes, black people have been through a lot of struggle, but it's like the Indian people don't get a clap. The Chinese people don't get a clap. It's like the Polish people don't get a clap. It's like all these other communities that have been through hardship, they don't get a clap. But us black people will sit in a room and say, yes, I'm happy that I'm here and I'm black and I'm diverse. It's like we need to start having our own thing so we can eradicate this type of mentality, It really bothered me that we sat there and everybody was clapping for me because I was black. and I made my way into finance, and they were like, well done. We know black people have been through a lot. Bro, I was so embarrassed. And I was like, as black men, we need to start thinking differently. People need to respect us. People shouldn't give us jobs because of our skin color and we've been through some hardship. We need to make people respect us, you know? And just as you said earlier, if people respect black men, they respect black women, and they won't disrespect them anymore, you know? And that's definitely a message that I support. So I'll land on that, my bro.
LeBeau, always a pleasure to have you, man. Man, sorry you went through that shit. Man, I would have crushed out, man. My God. Clapping for me.
Bro, like, you speak a lot about weak-mindedness, Kingsley, but imagine I had other black guys in that meeting, bro, like, giving a sob story about, like, oh, when I came here, there wasn't any other black people working here, and now I'm so happy there's so many black. And I just looked at him and I was like, we're all here based on merit. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Come on, like, why did we become so weak-minded? Like, we need to stop buying into this mentality, you know, like colonization, slavery. It happened. Yes, it happened. We know it's bad. We never forget. But let's not forget who we are. Like, we're proud people. We're proud people, man.
Yeah, we are proud people with sense. We are proud. We are strong. We are confident. We are achievers. I don't need you to give me a pity party. Like, I'm probably the strongest guy, smartest guy in the room. The fuck?
You get me, bro?
Coming for me.
Bro, like, we have like women who are like cyber engineers. We have like women who are like, you know, managers of certain departments. Yeah. And I was just thinking to myself, like, these women could be celebrated as individuals, but instead we're being highlighted because we're black, solely off the color of our skin. And we don't even understand as black people, like, how much of a disadvantage we put ourselves as soon as we walk in the room. We're automatically the pity party.
Man, my ego couldn't. But anyway, bro, you seem to.
For sure.
So whenever that time rolls around, just make an excuse and don't go to work.
Bro, I told them, like, next year I'm not taking part of it. You know, I'm not taking part of any Black History Month, none of that stuff. Like, I'm a proud black man. I know who I am. You know.
Facts. But didn't you tell them you're African, you're not American?
It's not like what I realized, right? You had a brother on here earlier who spoke about HR, right? And I feel like a lot of us black people in the West, we need to be conscious of this HR and diversity inclusion. I realized that they were using us as tokens for their LinkedIn, for their profile, right? To kind of advertise us like, oh, we did Black History Day. We celebrated black people within the company. It all looks good for them. And whatever diversity and inclusion quota they're trying to fit, you know? It has nothing to do with what actually benefits black people. And that's my focus on it, is like, this does not benefit us. And especially as black men, I'm like, why do we like to look weak? Like, the Indian men are not being clapped for working in a company and working their way up, becoming directors and CEOs. The Chinese man, likewise, the Arabs. It's like, these people are going through exactly what we're going through. Why are we getting a clap like we're the kids in the back of the classroom that can't keep up?
Bro, man, sorry about that, man.
You get me?
I do. I get you 100%. 100%. Hey, brother, thank you so much, man. It was a pleasure.
For sure, bro. Okay? It was a pleasure, man. Bless up, bro.
All right. Peace out. Guys, I've got 10 minutes max, man. I gotta bring other people in. I want to talk to the men, man. I want to talk to the men, guys. Shit. Women, calm down. Let me talk to the men. I'm talking about men. What do you want to tell me? I'm talking to men. Go ahead, Dribby. Welcome.
Hey, hello. Hey, yes. I wanted to go over, specifically, like, okay. Black men having no power, I believe, in my personal opinion, I believe a reason why we also don't have power is because a lot of black people want to disassociate themselves with Africa, at least the current Africa, right? And what I'm talking about is when we have black people who are overseas, for example. I don't know how it is in America, if Labo is here, I don't know how it is there, but in Australia, for example, black people will literally, when they get a good job, when they're very affluent, they will tend to put down the Africans in Africa, or fresh Africans that are coming from Africa to Australia. And it makes me think, okay, it's like the reason why they're acting like this, I guess, is because this is like the only time when they, I guess, feel like they have some sort of power. And I'm going to tell you something that I noticed that I feel very embarrassed about. But I don't know if you've heard of the movie before. You've heard of it. It's called Black Panther, right? Black Panther, that popular movie that came around. And the reason why I'm talking about that film is because I genuinely felt so embarrassed about the whole thing, the whole scope around that. And that was because, think about it. You got to think about this. It is a hypothetical civilization, right? This story wasn't made by black people, it was made by a white guy. A hypothetical civilization in Africa that is united, advanced, thriving, right? And we have Africans here, you know, overseas, everywhere. Everyone is saying Wakanda forever, Wakanda forever. It felt, to me, that just felt so embarrassing. It felt like they were just giving us, oh, you know, you can't even, you know, advance yourself, but here's this hypothetical, you know. What shocked me is all these black celebrities. Oh my gosh, it was so obvious to me though. All these black celebrities were really perpetuating this Wakanda forever. Yeah, we have power. We are kings. And I'm like, it's a movie. It's a movie. It's fake. It's not real. Africa's actually people are suffering back home, and we're saying Wakanda forever, and we're acting like. No offense to people who love that movie, but I'm really trying to dive into a point here. This is when I realized that and this is like, I was much younger, and I realized, wow, we're really like, we don't have it, power. If this is the power that we have, like a movie, we're happy, we're living, you know, we're pretending to live as kings through a movie, like that. That just made me, it's just such a depressing thing to go over. And no offense to anyone, I know it really resonates with people, but to me, it was just really, really embarrassing. And it plays into the idea that we don't have power, and that movie was, you know, it was destructive to us, in my opinion. The media, you know, media it's just so bad. It's so bad. The only way we can really start is by really evolving and changing the media outlets that we have, because they're so destructive and awful, you know. And yeah. Sorry, I kind of just went on a little rant there, but I just had to really address that. I like to really talk about things like that, like things like movies, things that people think are small but are really, in actuality, really big.
Movies are a massive form of control. But you got to keep in mind, Jimmy. I think Rosetta, I think she put that in the chat. The movie is targeted at African Americans, not us. Get me? Because a lot of African Americans. I agree with you. Trust me, I get you, 100%. But the target audience are African Americans who probably they romanticize Africa. You know, they romanticize Africa. So Rosetta was that was the point she put in the chat. So yeah, just to keep that in mind. Yeah.
Yes. Well, don't you think that movie, it kind of, I guess, like. And African Americans, I guess some of them really don't want to, I guess, associate themselves with Africa. I felt like that movie also kind of perpetuated that in a way. Like, it's like a hypothetical version of Africa. I don't know. To me, it just felt a little off. Like when I watched it.
That's your creative mind talking, Jimmy.
Okay, maybe it's just me. Maybe that's just me.
No, but I see what you mean. And I get it. I mean, we would rather have the real thing, no?
We would rather. It's really, to me, it just comes off as really sad overall. You know, we really, I just wanted to, come up and to address that. But yeah, I think we just need to, you know, work on our media outlets, right? Because, you know, at this point, I think a lot of people, even in my generation, are, I don't know if I should say they're too far gone, or they're just really desensitized to nonsense. But I think we need to focus on the younger generations and build them up through, you know, our media outlets. Like, their generation, like, there's some people that I genuinely think are too far gone. They cannot, you know, they can't bring themselves to, I guess, take accountability, to acknowledge this simple question that you've put: black men have no power. There's so many people that they cannot believe that, because if they do accept that, then their whole worldview breaks. They're they're scared of their whole worldview breaking. So they'd rather live in limbo. Everything is perfect. You know, it's very sad. It's very sad overall. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over that and just to talk about, hey, you know, really pay attention to the media, right? And, you know, what you're taking in, what your children are taking in. You know, it starts small. They're never going to go big. They're never going to go, you know, really, they're never going to make it really, really obvious. It's always going to be very subtle initially, you know, just take time, really think, okay, who is the target audience, right? What are they trying to show you, right? Like, that's all I needed to say, guys.
No, got you. And just to talk about power, let me show you guys something. So I'm reading this article on The Guardian. It says, Gulf royals own more than £1 billion of UK property.
Whoa.
Jimmy, isn't that power?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, God. These guys can pick up the phone and call the Prime Minister. Hey, bro, shut up. Yes.
Yeah, and it's really pathetic. I think, and we have so many resources where we can establish a lot of leverage, like with our batteries. We could literally, everything runs on batteries. Like our laptops have batteries. Everything uses lithium batteries, and we could use that as leverage, but we don't, because it's just really sad. It's really sad, but we can fix it. We can do it, but we can't do it with just 5 people. We need a lot of people to do it, but a lot of people need to, really need to take accountability for themselves and be like, okay, we're not doing good enough, but we think we're doing good enough. Something like that. Africa can have a lot of leverage very, very quickly. Very quickly.
And I think it's happening. I think we're getting there. And that's what gives me hope. Burkina Faso. But one thing I want us Black Africans to do is we need to stop putting all these expectations on Ibrahim Traore, because that's one thing we like to do, Jimmy. Everybody's Ibrahim. Yeah, but let's put, as Black Africans, we need to put pressure on our own leaders to do what Ibrahim Traore is doing. Because what I don't want us to do is that everybody puts it on him while ignoring the responsibility of their own president. We are in a better position where more African countries are doing the same thing that Ibrahim is doing. Because if everybody's not doing it and everybody's just looking at Ibrahim, it's dangerous.
Yeah, no, it's true.
dangerous.
It's true. It puts him at risk, in my opinion, as well. Like, even you, for example, like if you start, obviously you're going to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but I imagine you want more people like you as well, right? To exist. I hope people don't just let you do it and then, they kind of sit back, which is what happens all the time. There's always one person doing it.
Yeah.
That everyone else sits back and then that person gets, taken out. Things like that. It's I don't know what to call that mindset, but it's
a coward mindset, in my opinion, Jimmy. And that's a great point you brought up, because Nigerians love to do this. Nigerians love to do this a lot. For example, there's a guy called Very Dark Man. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if you don't know him, but it's quite popular. Bro, this guy is just a content creator, Michael. I mean, he does a lot of good, but he's a content creator. He's one guy. Now, almost every Nigerian, whenever there's an issue, let's go Very Dark Man. I'm like, guys, have mercy on the guy too. He's tired. He's a human being. And I try to tell them this, but they think I'm a hater. I'm like, guys, this guy is a human being. Why don't you also find somebody else? Why don't you also make the content? Why are you putting all eyes on Very Dark Man? Because you're exposing him even more. We need more Very Dark Man so that we can spread all the attention. That's what makes it even more powerful. The more you centralize everything, the more vulnerable you are. But when you spread everybody around and saying the same thing, you increase the intensity, and it's very hard to find and hard to kill.
Yeah, that's how you make an actual difference in the scene.
Yeah.
That's how you actually make a difference. But I guess it's also because maybe this particular viewpoint for some people is not attractive, I guess, not appealing for a lot of Africans. I mean, you can agree on that. Like, a lot of people don't like you, right? Let's be honest, right? So I'm just adding on that. So, it's going to be a lonely road for a little while, but I hope people jump in. It's really sad. I've seen a lot of Africans give up. I don't know if you're aware, but there is this African guy. He's Sudanese. He lives in America. His name is Shadow. Yeah.
That guy.
So I popped up on his live because he was talking about
that guy is interesting, huh?
He is, but I think he's really lost hope. I think he was raised by a white family as well.
That's a panderer.
Yeah, I could tell because he was, we had a chat and he was saying basically he doesn't expect Africa to evolve because of ethnogenics. Yeah, and then I was like, okay, but I gave him an example of an iteration of that happening, and he just kind of went, he kind of didn't know what to do, and then he just went next, or it was just like just seeing him not know what to say made me go, wow, this dude really, he doesn't even really back what he's saying. I guess he's just, you know.
No, the shadow guy, listen. So, I don't know, I think he changed recently, guys. I mean, Dreamy is a big fan of my show, he's a big supporter of the show, so I love chatting with him whenever I get the chance. So guys, please give me some time, and Dreamy, we're just catching up. And I used to like some of his content, especially when he makes, what did he used to make? Actually, he used to make this, he makes history content. So I kind of, but then he started getting political, and then his takes were very one-sided and biased. I was like, bro, what's going on here, man?
It started to get, he started to change, and it was especially during the, I don't know if, there's another black YouTuber with dreads, I don't know if I can say his name. Was
Issa.
Yeah, he had an altercation with him, and when I saw that, I was like, oh wow, he's real. That's when I realized this dude he has lost the plot. He was using anecdotes, you know, not real statistics to back what he was saying. And I was like, this dude he's not telling the truth. He's lying. What is he saying about this? And he was, you know, I guess he was just perpetuating the same, you know, Africa is helpless type thing. Like, I don't understand.
And for me, I'll be very honest with you guys, and maybe this is my bias showing. Anytime I see a black content creator and your majority of your audience are whitey, I don't know, and you're making political, I kind of look at you funny. I don't know, maybe that's my personal bias, because it has never failed me that black person typically is very biased or trying to play an act. Something is not adding up. I don't know if you see what I mean. I don't want to say it, but do you get the same thing, or do you have a different opinion on that? Like, what's your take on that overall?
Well, okay, in terms of just, you know, black people who have majority, you know, white audiences, I guess it depends on the type of, like,
like political, you know, like kind of what I do. That,
yeah. Then I do feel like they're definitely, you know, pandering. Like, I used to look at Jeff Mead. I used to look into his content.
Dude,
relax. I used to, and then
used to. Okay.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Right.
This was
I forgive you, Dreamy.
I used to a while ago, and you know, then I kind of, you know, looked, you know, back into, you know, his history and all of that, and I was like, wow, this dude, he used to do, he used to make dance videos, content like that, and then, you know, he, I guess that didn't work out, and then he just started making, you know, these political trope videos, and a lot of these people just end up doing that. They fail at one thing, and then they start making very political things, and wow.
It's very lucrative, by the way. Lucrative.
Yeah. So it made me go, maybe this guy he doesn't even really believe what he's saying. Maybe he does. Maybe he probably has been desensitized to a lot of things, you know, so maybe he can't help it. I'm trying to see why someone would have that mindset. I always like to put myself in their shoes to see, why does this person think like that, right? You know, I try really hard to do that because, you know, I'm not trying to give them leniency, but, you know, I think...
No, one thing I really appreciate about you, Dreamy, is like, you know, this is not the first time we've spoken, but you empathize, and I do like that, because I'm maybe not as empathetic as you are, and that's what I like. Maybe that's why I like when we banter a little, because it kind of brings me down to the more empathetic level. But honestly, because I looked at him, bro, automatically red flags, like, because some of the things he says, Jeff Mead, I'm like, bro, you know you don't believe this shit, dude. You know you don't believe this, like, because you're a black man.
Yeah.
You're a black man, and you're a black man, and a lot of the things you're saying about like racism and police brutality, you know that's not true to you. It might be true for your audience. So maybe that's why you're saying it, because your audience are predominantly white. So it makes sense for you, because one thing I've noticed about American politics is this: if you are a black person, and you are saying something that I don't know whether is it right wing or something, right?
Yeah, he's like right conservative,
Republican, whatever. Conservative.
Yeah, Republican.
If you are saying something to bash or talk down on black people, you are gonna blow up.
Yeah.
You are going, bro. It's on YouTube. It is profitable, bro. I will tell you this. Actually, okay, I'm gonna, so that I stop blinking. I'll tell you this, Dreamy. On YouTube, there is a segment called, well, even on TikTok, it's called, on YouTube particularly, it's called Republican media. Republican social media. One thing I've noticed that white folks, especially white folks on the right, love to see, in my own opinion, and what I've observed is they love to see black content creators that are quite anti-black, and speak against the black community. It's like you are saying things that they cannot say, but they want to say.
Yeah.
So they come to you and then they love it. I mean, I am yet to see a black content creator in the UK or America, Dreamy, I don't know about Australia, I don't know how it is over there, that speaks against the black community that is not rich. I'm yet to see it.
That's true. People are saying, I don't know if you can even say her name. Is she okay? Is it okay to say her name? Lady?
I don't know, man. But I heard maybe, yeah, say it.
I think she is. I think it is okay. I think she's not. Yeah. But yeah, even someone like her, yeah. In Australia, it's not. I mean, Australia, it's still Australia's still a very young country, right? There's not many big, like, black celebrities, like, in Australia. So I haven't really seen anyone that is who voices that rhetoric anyway. But yeah, it's very attractive, bro. It's very attractive to people to see a black person come and speak against, other black people. And my problem is, I know that these people, like, these Candace, Jeff Mead, the reason why I, really pulled off from them was because I was like, these people, when they go out in public, right? When they go out anywhere, right? They get the eyes. I don't know if you know what the eyes are, but the eyes are when a white person looks at you. They look at you, but you see it for like a split second and then it changes back. But it's like a look of genuine, or like, look of disgust, especially if it's like an old person. Like, I see it all the time. You see it and it's very brief, but it's a look of disgust. And I'm like, there's no way these people don't notice that. Like the Candace Owens, this Jeff Mead, there's no way they don't see that. It's like when you walk into a room full of white people and then they look at you, they're like, there's no way you don't notice that. There's no way they don't notice that. So that's when I kind of pulled off, because they were completely just denying reality, living in a fantasy world themselves. Like, they love to say, okay, if you are progressive, woke, then you're living in a fantasy world, but they were living in a fantasy world themselves. So, I kind of, I pulled myself back from that, from those ideals. They're very destructive as well. People in the comments are really going off.
But for me, I still, again, that's why personally, I'm not very, I don't have any allegiance to like a political party. I never will. Because I personally, I believe politicians are the same, just on different sides, if I'm being honest. They're always the same. It doesn't matter whether one is on the left or on the right, they're the same. It's just that, all politicians cannot be on the same party. Otherwise, who's going to be president? There has to be, you have to compete against one another. So that's why because let's be real, these politicians, they went to the same schools, they went to the same spaces, they went to the same thing. Of course, they know each other. Most of these politicians, regardless of wherever they are leaning, they would rather hang out with themselves than hang out with us. No matter, because they are both elites. We are not. So I've never really understood, if I'm being honest with you, Dreamy, I've never really understood the average person's obsession with like politicians, not politics, politicians. Like, once this person comes into office, he or she is going to change things. You really believe that? And some people really believe it, man. Damn.
It's so sad. People really, base their lives off it, They base their whole personalities off it. In America, it's pretty big. It's huge in America. People really, it is their, it must be a part of their lifestyle, I imagine.
I think it is. I think politics in America is very, very ingrained. I think so. I mean, I've never been, but from what I've observed, I have a large American following. So I think it's ingrained, huh? I think so.
Yeah, people in the chat, they probably, I feel like it's very tough to see. But I mean, I guess it just, it just means we need to take, accountability, and we need to acknowledge that, okay, no, this is not us, right? You need to understand that, that we're not liked on both sides. We're not liked.
Yeah, exactly.
Hated. Black Americans, I love Black Americans, but I also feel, really bad. Like the system there really doesn't like them. It doesn't like them, but it can't get rid of them. It can't deport them, so they just put them in prison. It's really messed up. It's really messed up.
And I think that's why sometimes I say Black Africans, in my opinion, they've really failed Black Americans. In my opinion, that's why sometimes when I hear Black Americans say they don't fuck with us, I don't blame them, because it's like, yeah, bro, we were supposed to be the people that would have gotten our act in order, being the safety spots where if there's any mess, there's repercussions, if there's an issue, but we haven't, and we leverage exactly, and we haven't.
We had no leverage. We really let them down, So when I see an African who gets, likes to, make fun of, African Americans, saying, oh, African Americans, oh, look at them, the way they act ghetto, all this. I kind of just look at them like, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? What are you doing to help them? Like, bro, or like, it's really, it's really sad. Bro, I know I sound like nicey, but I really have a lot of resentment to the African leaders that are doing nothing. The one in Congo, the amount of anger I have towards that person is a lot. The one, it is insane, bro. It is insane, how these people are getting away with it. I look again on the news, Zambian news, and our president has done another deal with China again, and it's like man. It's just so depressing to see, bro. I just get so angry when I see stuff like that.
And personally, I wonder how they sleep at night. How do you do this to your own people? I don't understand it. I've never understood that.
I don't know how people like that can exist. Like the Congo president, he needs to fly away, if you know what I mean, right? He needs to, I can't, I don't know how people get like that. We're so content with being, how can you be content with being a king, a president in a country with, you're not rich. You're not rich if you're in a country with, it's the Congolese president. He's a very big, chubby president, while all his people are working in mines and stuff like that. It's really awful, bro. Yeah, the Congolese president. Yeah.
And that's the thing, because I mean, again, because people always like to say the West. I'm like, are you sure it's the West? Like, I feel like we're infantilizing our leaders sometimes. When I hear people talk about, oh, it's always I'm like, no, it's not the West. It's not the West. It's the leader. No. It's the leader. Let's stop. Honestly, sometimes I feel like we give the West too much credit that they don't even deserve, bro. Real. Like for real, bro. Like the West of before is not the West of today. They know that back when our leaders were getting unalive, man. I think in this day and age, now that there's scrutiny everywhere, there's attention. It's not the same. Like I feel like we give them too much credit sometimes when it comes to like how much credit we give them in the underdevelopment of African countries. Now the thing is this: yes, we know that the West are involved, guys. You don't need to keep reminding me.
Yeah,
we don't need to keep reminding me. Like people need to stop. Sometimes I get irritated when Africans tell me the West. Like I say, I don't know. But my point is, are we sure we are pointing the fingers in the right direction? Like there's no way you're going to think. There's no way you're going to point the finger at the West and you're not paying salaries in your countries. Yeah, like, is it the West that says you shouldn't pay salaries? Is it the West that says you shouldn't build hospital in that village somewhere? Is it the West? Is it the West? You see what I mean, Dreamy? Like, there's certain things I'm like, bro, you're like, come on, oh my God.
I think these leaders are also, they're profiting off that mentality as well. They're like, okay, they'll just blame it on the West. I think at this point now, currently, I think they're also being like, okay, it's just because, the West is, extracting. They're not going to get angry at me, for buying a new mansion or buying a new, Lamborghini. They won't. I think they're so comfortable now. They're so confident. That's why they keep doing it. They know they're not going to get, fingers pointed at them. They know people aren't going to be banging on their door. My gosh, it's a endless, cycle. I think Lebo must disagree with the Congo issue. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah. But you think. For me, I believe that whenever I see black folks try to down one another without critical thinking, I always laugh. Like, you think you're better, homie, you're black. That's why I think. That's why for me, whenever I see this infightings, I'm like, dude, I don't care to hear from you. You're still at the bottom of the barrel with me. If anything, you're the king of the bottom of the barrel, and that's not something to brag about. Who cares? Because you're the king of the bottom of the barrel doesn't mean you're not in the bottom of the barrel. You could be the best black or the less black. You're still black until you are in positions of real power. Your voice means nothing. You understand? And this is something that I love to preach whenever I can. And I've still not understood it. How as a president, like if I'm the president of Nigeria, for example, and I always ask myself, how can I be the president of a country? And I know that there's, basic issues. And I'm still going out, walking the streets. My face is the shame. Bro, I would be so ashamed of myself. That I will be ashamed, but they don't care. You see them walking around. You see them walking around, confident, going to give speeches. I'm like,
it's the
God.
Confidence.
And I'm like, that's what I'm curious about, because you have African presidents. They will travel abroad to go and beg for aid every fucking year.
So embarrassing.
Every single year, you are sitting in front of IMF and World Bank. You have oil reserve. Like, I'm pretty sure some leaders are like, bro, what the fuck is this guy doing? Again, I'm also thinking of the other presidents. There's got to be some presidents looking at the African president like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, what is this guy doing? Like, I mean,
especially countries and especially countries that are fairly young. Like, imagine the Singaporean president or the the Australian Prime Minister. People like that who started relatively the same time as us, started developing relatively the same time as us, and they're doing much better. Can you imagine those altercations? It would be, it's just so embarrassing. I don't know. I don't know how they continue to, live like that.
I wonder, bro. Honestly, if I can, one of my biggest curiosities, my side project curiosities, I'd love to, if there's a study, the psychological and mental whatever of African presidents. I'd love to study that. I'd love to study it. I would love if anybody knows like a research or a YouTube video that maybe does a psychological assessment of African presidents, particularly. I would be very interested to read how these guys think. Like, imagine being the president of an African country, poverty everywhere, struggling, chaos, and you still have the audacity to be buying the latest cars. Bro, I cannot. I will be so ashamed. I'll be so ashamed. Me, I wouldn't even be able to travel abroad to go and do United Nations. For what? No, I can't. I'll send the minister. But they go confidently. Like, you literally have the president of Nigeria shaking hands with Macron, smiling. I'm pretty sure there's some ministers, there's some people there looking at this guy like, bro, is this guy really here? And another thing, bro, is like all these African presidents that travel abroad for medical checkup. Imagine you're a president and you've been in office for 20 years, bro. And now you're traveling to America, you're traveling to South Africa, you're traveling to everywhere else but your home place for medical checkup as a president of a country.
Oh my gosh. It's just, the Zambian president, he did that actually. One of the former ones.
Oh,
he went to, I forget where it was, somewhere in Europe, for some medical checkup that he needed to do. And I think he ended up passing away in another country. There, it was very. It's just this is so embarrassing. Like how these leaders, they know. But I mean, the fact that they do that, Kingsley, is
they
because
gotta know. They know, bro.
Yeah,
they know. They know.
And then it's just so silly. Like the people, some of us we glorify them. It's so crazy. Some of us really like.
But Dreamy, the reason we glorify them, Dreamy, is because they are us. That's the truth, man. Those leaders are us, Dreamy. That's the truth, brother.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
That's the truth.
That's true. They're a reflection of us currently.
Yes, yes.
So how can that's actually a fair point. I've never really thought of it that way. But yeah,
they are us, bro. Because if they're a reflection of the majority sentiment. You cannot have a disciplined leader and an indisciplined population. For what?
See, yeah. No, that's a good way. Yeah. That's a good way to look at it. But then that just comes down to, okay, how do we change that? And I guess you would say, what would you say? Media outlets, awareness.
Bro, there are different ways to change it, but one is media. But again, I'll say this. The thing is this: because if the people did not agree with the leader, guess what the people would have done? Taken that leader out of there by force or fire. Because they don't agree with you. Romania did it. They were sick of a dictator, a brutal dictator. At some point, when they were sick of him, you know what they did? He was giving his presidential speech. They stormed his house. They unalived him. The people, even the military people that had guns, they dropped their weapons and they joined the people to beat him up or something like that. Because they were like, why would I defend this criminal? They're sick of him. It's crazy, bro.
And this begs the question then. I mean, this is going to take a long time then to, I guess, fix, right?
Yeah.
Like this is not going to be a 20-year project. This is more like a 100-year
generations.
Yeah, project. Hello, Rosetta.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Hi, Kingsley. Hi, Dreamy Bot.
Hello.
So, hi. So I just wanted to, oh my God, I've been listening for ages. There's so many things you said at the beginning that I was in agreement of. I don't know if it's worth me going back to your earlier point, Dreamy Bot, about the Black Panther film. Do you think there's reason for me to?
Sure, go ahead. I think we can come back to our topic pretty quickly. Hello.
We can hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah, I said I've been listening for quite some time to you talk, and there were a lot of points that you said that I was in agreement of. One of it being the points you made about the
Black Panther.
The Black Panther film, and then obviously as the most recent point you made was about I think it was Kingsley actually who said about the African leader who went to get medical care abroad.
Yeah.
So just a little point on the Black Panther film and what you said. I personally think that the film was aimed at a particular demographic, the demographic being African American people. It wasn't a film that was aimed at African people specifically. It was a film, to me, that was made to uplift the African American community. So I can understand why you and maybe other people didn't connect to it or didn't understand it or didn't like it.
Well, yeah. Well, the reason why I didn't connect with it is because when you just look at the context of the story of what it is a place that doesn't exist in Africa that is basically what Africans want for Africa. It was like a united, advanced, thriving civilization, with advanced technology. To me, it just, something about it didn't sit right. I know probably Stan Lee is the one that, came up with it, but think about it. It is an African civilization that doesn't exist, that is hidden. It's hidden from everywhere else. No one else can see it. No one else is knowing it exists, right? Doesn't it just seem a bit isn't it mockery to you? They've been hiding. Africa, they just have way too many resources. They must just be hiding a secret civilization somewhere. Come on. That's just so embarrassing to me.
I didn't get offended by any of it at all. But I think what we need to understand is global Africans have have unique relationship to Africa. That's different to you and I might have a relationship with, Some people are a lot further away from Africa, therefore they need to create a link or a connection between them and that place. So fantasy might be the thing that is used because the reality of the relationship just doesn't exist. So you have to start from a point of imagination and a point of upliftment, knowing the history of the place that you know, this film was being made.
I see your point. I see a point there.
Yeah.
Right. I guess it's because I like to, you know, make stories for a living, right? And like, if you watch like the Black Panther movie, you can kind of see that one of the underlying themes, it's like not too subtle, but it's pretty subtle. It's that, you know, it's that Africa we'd rejected Black Americans and kind of left them to survive in a racist environment while we were living like kings, you know, living, you know, with prosperity and technology, right? That was like the premise. That was like a pretty big subtone of the film, right? Like the dude was really angry. I forget his name. The dude who played the dude was Michael B. Jordan, right? That dude, he was very, you know, angry about that. And I don't know, I just felt like that was a very subtle dividing factor of that film. But hey, maybe I'm overthinking it, but that's how I saw it. But I get what you're saying though, how, you know, different Africans around the world they're gonna perceive it differently, you know, and I guess that plays into what they wanted, the film creators. Yeah.
No, I don't think your point is wrong. I just think that we all have a different relationship with the continent of Africa based off of whether we are people of the diaspora, displaced people who were once enslaved, people that were actually born on the continent. Yeah, our relationship will always vary. Therefore, we will interpret things based off of that.
Let's move out of the movie, please. Let's talk about it, like Africa, Black community, all that stuff. Do you want to say something on that, Rosetta, or we can go to Chris or Lebo?
No, go to Prince. You can go from there.
Chris, welcome.
How are you? You said Black men have no power as a collective. Yeah, but like, I also don't think that they care. Like, I think that as long as they have access to the patriarchies of other men, because you know about the whole Jakba thing in Nigeria. So as long as they have access to, and Jakba is not just to Europe. I think that's what everybody thinks. Like, no, it's also to like Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Thailand. As long as they have access to those places, and as long as they can get the, you know, bottom tier of those women that they can marry for papers. Yeah, there's never going to be a solution. And also, like, I don't know if people understand this, but it takes a lot of work to build an empire, and it's a very grimy thing to build an empire, because empires,
Often bloody.
That's what I'm saying. Empires are built on slaves. Empires are built on the backs of slaves, and they're built on, I don't want to get your live band, but basically like G-side. You know what I'm trying to say by that. So, and it's done with military strategy. Then you have to deal with things like, infrastructure. You have to build up the other ones, infrastructure, agriculture. You have to build up the economy. For some reason, African men have not quite figured out how to do this, whether it's in their individual countries or on the continent. And my thing is, we won't stop fighting. Well, not we, I don't partake in these things, but like, we won't stop fighting over nonsense. Like, I, for the most part, unfollow, outside of your page and like few other Africans, I don't go on any African blogs, because it's the same thing. And it's West Africa, East Africa. It is the same thing. It is, we're talking about, diaspora war between ourselves and others. And then it's also this never ending discussion about like looks, skin, hair. Nobody's West African, East African women who's prettier. And it's like, who gives a F about any of this when our land is currently being snatched from us? Like, what does this have to, what does the curviness of East African, who cares about which woman has bigger buttocks when the land is really not about to be ours in a few years? We're being turned into guests on our own land. Like, why does any of that matter? Whose women is prettier, whose women is more desirable, whose men is more, dominant in terms of sexual prowess. This is like, why is this the only discussion on these pages? And it's literally, it's page after page after, and it's post after post. And once I realized that this was it, I just unfollowed all of this. I unfollowed, blocked. The second I hear anything about, weave, wigs, bleaching cream, dark skin, I unfollow it, because like, when I go in other groups, they're talking about like technology. They're talking about like space exploration. They're also talking about coming into Africa and snatching up all our stuff, trying to push us out, every group right now, I don't know if people know this, but like every group right now has some kind of plan as to how they're going to come into Africa and take stuff. And the plan is to eventually push us completely out, whether it's starve us out, push us out, but it's to get rid of us eventually. I say like in about 200 years, we're going to end up like the Nubian Egyptians, and we're going to come back like in 1,000 years and Nigerians are all going to be white. And we're going to be arguing like, they were black. It's like, no. And they're going to be sitting there windmilling like, no, they were never black. If you bring like a Nubian Egyptian from like 3,000 years ago and you bring them to Egypt now, they're going to be like, what the hell happened to our country? That's what's going to happen to the rest of Africa in like, I say at least 1,000 years. We're not seeing the long game. We're not understanding the plan. We're over here arguing about who's got the better jollof. We're arguing about Afrobeats. We're arguing about nonsense, and everything we have is being snatched from us. And for the women and dating, these people are coming into Africa to recruit soldiers to fight their wars. The Chinese, the Russians, a lot of the men that are supposed to be your husbands, they're not going to be there. I don't know what y'all are going to do, because these people are coming in, they're recruiting African men big time to come and fight in their wars, and we're not seeing it. Like I don't get it. Every time I come on this app is we're arguing about the dumb things that are not supposed to even have any value whatsoever. We are arguing about the dumbest things, and I just scroll past it because it's pathetic. But yeah, no, they're not gonna do any of that building stuff, because the building stuff, building a military, a sustainable economy, that stuff takes work. A lot of African men, as long as they get like, they have their Maslow hierarchy of needs are met. As long as they have food, they have a place to stay, they have a woman to keep them company in bed. And as long as they're able to sustain themselves economically, they could care less about, because that building stuff takes work. It takes a lot of work. It takes centuries of work. I mean, look at the Greeks and the Romans. It takes a lot of work. And the few times they have tried to do it, you have what's their name? The guys in Mali, the Moors. And those ones went to Spain and bred themselves out. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're having a discussion that is about 100 years too late, 60 years too late. And I think that the best thing for everybody to do is worry about yourself and worry about your family. But as a collective, I don't think we're ever going to get there, because we're too busy arguing about skin, hair, food, and music.
Yeah. I see what you mean. And I somewhat agree. And somebody said something, Angel Alex made a very good point. She said it's hundreds of years of work and you won't personally benefit from it. And that's so true. How many black African men particularly can say, oh, I'm doing this for 200 years from now? How many? Not a lot, man. So, because if our leaders don't even think of us right now, like, bro, so...
And their kids are going to be inheriting land because they bought land. So we don't plan for the future. Like, I think I told you this last time, that one of the reasons we don't plan for the future is that we're not going to be in it, so we don't care.
Got you. Rosetta, you want to say something, or we go to Libu?
Yeah, I'll just be really quickly. So what you just touched on, Chris, about, I know space exploration isn't what many African people are thinking about, but I recently worked on a film about space exploration and where we're going in the near future, and the key players that are involved in that in terms of nations. And Africa isn't even a thought on the table. Africa isn't a thought. The big nations we're looking at is, of course, the US. And the US is even a bit far behind China, India, and some other places, but Africa isn't even involved in that conversation at all. So if we think of how far behind we are in terms of progressive things like that, imagine climate change. I mean, there was COP29 a week or two ago, and the last thing about that with Africa was that the African nations were asking for funding because they're not the world that have affected the world with climate issues. So they're going to need a couple billion to kind of be in a good place to make sure that they're on a level playing field, because it's the Western nations that have caused the climate issues.
So my very first live with Kingsley, I went into deep detail. That's how me and him first met. I went into deep detail about space because he was even shocked. He could not believe how much was going on in space. I sent him videos of how Japan is planning on building a train to space, how there are countries right now that are countries in the US right now that are bidding for apartments to be built in space. So yeah.
Chris, listen, and let me just quickly before I let someone else talk. So for example, you know how Trump's now been elected and he's coming into government in January. The whole point, I saw this from afar, the whole point of him getting, what's that guy called? Musk involved was because Musk was having issues with the Democratic Party with having his plans for space to go far. Now that he has a position in government, his plan and his initiative to take SpaceX as far and wide as he wants to will actually happen. I don't even know if we even have South Africa. Maybe if there's any African country that will go to space first, I think it will be South Africa. But in the present day conversation about maybe 20 years time, Africa's not even in the conversation about space exploration and like futuristic things like that.
Okay, let's go to Lebo. After Lebo, we'll go to your favorite girl.
Yeah.
And then I have 15 more minutes and I gotta go.
Yeah, no worries, bro. Like, I'll be quick anyways. I just wanted to address Trimi real quick because he was talking about the Congolese president. You know, I'm Congolese myself. I just feel like when a lot of you guys come and talk about Congo, you need to understand the history, and you need to also understand why the president right now is backed, because the president we had before was in power since 1997. He wasn't even Congolese. He didn't invest in no infrastructure and anything social in the country, economic, anything that can benefit the people. He didn't invest in.
He wasn't
nothing.
Congolese? Where was he from?
So look, let me give you the backstory, right? So we had the first Kabila, right? The last president we had, his name was Joseph Kabila. But before that, we had another Kabila who adopted Joseph Kabila because he was with a Tanzanian woman and that was her son. And when she passed away, he adopted her son. And the son ultimately ran a coup, killed Kabila Sr., and he became Kabila Jr. and became the president in 1997. So you guys need to understand the president that we had for almost 30 years wasn't even Congolese. He was just a president that was looting and taking every opportunity that was given to him. This is the first time in almost at least 85 years that we've had a president that's actually Congolese again and is ready to invest in the people. So this president is investing in infrastructure. He's actually pushing back on a lot of the M23 rebels in the east. You guys need to understand we have 20,000 UN soldiers are in the Congo right now. It's the largest dispatchment of UN soldiers across the globe. We have 20,000 of them. You know, they're there in the eastern Congo, protecting the mines, protecting these places that people talk about so much, you know, but these places are protected. The most aerospace in Congo is in eastern Congo where all the minerals are. And this is in the whole of Africa. And what I mean by aerospace, I mean about planes landing and departing. So in the middle of the Congo, there's planes coming in and out, private jets coming in and out. People are looting like no tomorrow. It's not just France. I know earlier, Kingsley, you said Congo's owned by the French. No. Congo has a very unique problem because we have almost every country in the world looting in our country. And I'm not making excuses or anything like that, but I just want to give you guys the backstory. It's not as simple as just having a good leader. We have a lot of mountains to climb. And the president we have now, the reason why a lot of us back him is because he's putting money into education. He's uplifting the people. He's investing in infrastructure because for the past 60 years, we've been sucked dry of everything, even our dignity. And this is the first person to come into presidency and uplift the people. So you can give him a little bit of grace.
I actually, hey, you know what? That is a fantastic point. My only thing with that, by the way, dude, that previous guy that you had, horrible. That is horrible, right? How he's doing that. I just have my only problem is that I just think that we're too, afraid to, I'm not saying you're afraid, but I'm just saying people are too afraid to criticize, like, leaders, bro. This dude, I don't know how to pronounce, Felix, we'll just say Felix, right? He was at a football game like an hour ago, right? And he also wears a Richard Mille watch, which is $550,000, bro. $550,000 when the average wage for a Congolese president is like $51,000. What I'm saying, when I like look at people, bro, this dude hasn't been there for that long, bro. But think about if he's still here for the next term. Think about that, bro. They could be gradually getting worse. Think about it. The dude that you had previously probably wasn't too bad in the first term, bro. He only got worse because he knew he could get away with it. So I'm looking at this dude, right? He's been here for like...
Oh, he was bad from the jump, bro. He led a coup to ultimately gain his power. But look, I won't take up too much time and start arguing. But one thing I will say to you before you get ahead is like, look, I agree with you guys these African leaders are still Western puppets. The Congolese president is still a Western puppet, but you need to understand the history. That's why I came on again, and I just wanted to give you some context. You need to understand what's actually happened on the ground. We speak a lot about Africa, but you guys need to understand what people are living day to day in Africa, what they're experiencing, and what they're actually going through, you know, what their daily life is, you know. Some of these politicians have an influence on that. So you need to understand that the guy...
Did you? No. You're still here. LeBeur, we can't hear you, bro. Maybe he got a call. LeBeur! Yeah, I think he got a call.
But yeah, I get what he's saying, though. I just have a problem with, like, no matter what, all these guys that come in, they're gonna be corrupt in some form. Think about it. This dude he wears a watch that costs, he has two watches that are valued at 550,000.
Wow.
Do you know, bro, and I get it. He's much better than the other dude, because the other dude, you know, what Lebo said, you know, tried to start a coup. But I'm just worried about the mindset that this dude is also going to, you know, perpetuate. And over time, what is he going to be like over time, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are his true intentions, you know? He has a watch how can you have a watch that's like 5 times your salary? 2 watches that are 5 times your salary. You know, it's, I don't know. I think I get what he's saying, though. I get what he's saying, and I get how he feels about that. But we need to, like, we shouldn't, you know, glorify. These dudes need accountability. These dudes need to be told, okay, no, you may be better than the last guy who was a literal tyrant. You know, you're still bad. This dude is bad. Felix is not. He's not a good human being. We need to like get that straight. I'm really worried that people are always gonna soften the blow. You know, be like, oh no, he's building this. He's building this. Yeah. He's also, you know, stealing, you know, $1 million every, you know, year for vehicles or something. But you know, he's going out for walks, you know? We shouldn't, no. I don't want that, bro. But yeah, I get Lebo's frustration, but yeah.
No, I got you. Guys, I'm going to round up shortly. So, Dreamy, Rosetta, Chris, typically I give people a chance to say their final thoughts, but I think I've done enough for today. But I thank you guys for your time. It's also a nice conversation. But if you have something quick to say, just say so that I can get some. Okay? Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'll just head out. Thank you, guys. But yeah, guys, I think we should just, you know, take accountability, right? Criticize and always ask questions, no matter what. Ask questions, guys. Yeah. No matter what, right? No matter if it's a view you agree with, a view you don't agree with. Always just ask questions. And yeah, you guys have a good one. I will.
Fantastic, Dreamy. Always a pleasure. Okay, bro.
Yeah.
All right, peace out. Chris, dear, you want to say something? Final words?
No, just I did, but since you're rounding up, I'll just catch you in next live. But it was a pleasure talking to you. Have a good evening.
You too, Chris. All right, guys. Where am I? So, guys, yeah, good conversation. I'm gonna make some more content on this, especially on the solutions and how we can get power. That's where I am. With that said, guys, these are needed conversations. Okay, these are needed conversations that we must have in the community to improve our circumstances. We cannot keep doing the same thing and expect things to get better. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Kinsley checking out. Peace out.